welcome to the next session of our D&D campaign, Birthright. I'm the Dungeon Master, J. Webb Garrett. As I realized, we really only introduced ourselves once, and no one really has an idea of who we are. That's fine.
Hi, J. Webb Garrett.
Hi. You're going to hear them call me Joshua. J. Webb Garrett is what I go for on my Facebook, Twitter, and my book.
We ate him a cake today. It was very good.
Yes, they made me a surprise birthday cake today, because today I am an even older man. Fun.
He says even because his age is even now.
Ah, so the odd number.
Yeah.
He hasn't caught up with me.
Next year he'll be an odd older man.
Yeah, well, I'm that too. Anyway, we can go around and let the players introduce themselves. We are minus a Leah again, who plays Frecky, but we should have her next week.
Yeah.
So they'll have a cleric. I'm sure they're going to be very happy.
Hell
God, I'm stoked.
Who needs healing?
Everyone.
All of
needs
you!
All the time.
I listened
need
to
healing.
I listened to our previous sessions yesterday. You need healer.
This also marks the first session in which we've actually listened to previous sessions at
Yes.
all.
Yeah.
Also, new gaming venue.
Yes.
Yep.
So it might sound different.
Yeah, things sound different. It's because we're in a new place.
The thing's a little further away, but I think the acoustics are better in here.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
We'll find out.
The acoustics are better at my place than your place.
That's true, okay.
It's just a fact of life.
Ooh.
So going around the table,
It's not making
let
sense.
others introduce themselves as well, and just remind people who you're playing as well.
Oh, okay. Shelby, Spockle on Twitch, and I will be playing Lainath, the half-fiend Drow Paladin of the Inheritor.
Brandon, aka Stevens, depending on who's referring to me. Graphic Snarkist on Instagram, which I barely use at the moment.
All three of your pictures.
I'm all three of my pictures, two of which are just basically the same draw your squad. I'll be playing Silas, the half-elven scout rogue. He's got something to prove, he just doesn't know what.
Wow. I'm Kaci. I play Vanessa. People know me as Lady Dune on Twitter. Vanessa is the daughter of Daytaktar, previous character. She's just trying to be a snarky asshole, I guess. At least that's what I'm shooting for.
Running theme.
Hi, my name is Brandon, also known as Barda, and I am playing Lynn, the human Eldritch Knight.
Excellent. And having gone back over the videos, I realized in the first session we were still kind of up in the air on deities and what we were using. I have since compiled a list for my players of the gods of this campaign. As again, if you remember, this world has gone through several editions and such like that, and I've kind of used the gods of each one whenever we play it. This time, we're using our own. I fully admit to stealing the idea from Critical Role's Matt Mercer and having the gods all be titles, though there are several more of them, and I've included gods from D&D that I've liked, from Pathfinder that I've liked, from pretty much, I'm stealing everything. I just included a new one the other day of the Pale Rider. Guess who that is? And I hope everyone could guess who that is. So, when last we left off, our adventurers had a rather interesting encounter with an orc chief, who soundly kicked someone's ass. That was unintended on my part, but unintended on his part too.
What was the war chief's full name again?
The war chief's full name.
Because I can remember his...
Grundumar Thousandspear,
Yes.
Paladin of the Lord of Valor.
Drundamar was the part that I kept forgetting.
Yeah, Drundamar.
I wrote it on my sheet. I did not just remember that.
And
You're like, this is gonna be important.
plot.
I have my little notebook
I did not write the Paladin of
that I was
thing
given
down,
for
but I did
Christmas.
write
That I
the
didn't.
Hmm.
So, using my own notebook that I was given for Christmas, so I'm keeping all my notes into this game. That and a Google Doc that I need to put more into the notebooks is what I have with me. Music, why do you keep dying? I'm going to be hopeful with the new acoustics in here that it'll be easier to actually hear the music and sound effects I used.
the recording is also closer to the
Yeah,
speaker now.
and it's also why I didn't put it behind the game screen. So, in addition, you also found a young boy that is familiar to the characters, but not in the state you found him in.
It's supposed to be very glowy and powerful.
Wise.
You're all hidey and scared. I don't ball scared. I wasn't scared.
He ain't afraid of nothing.
No fear.
So, we begin the following morning. You've been allowed to stay in this orc encampment. Basically stuck in the war chief's tent, as it is dangerous to go outside. He admits to not having the strongest leash on his warriors.
He has leash enough.
He has leash enough to direct them. And he is the strongest among them, which is the only reason he even has leadership. Is there are none who will just rise to his challenge.
I recall that we had been having a conversation in Elven at one
Yes.
point.
You're speaking in Elven under the hope that the rest here don't speak it.
Right. Well, there's going to be that one orc ranger who had
Favorite enemy elves?
taken favorite enemy elves and
They're like paying off in spades.
I'm learning everything. Everything I need
All
to
the
know.
secrets. The secret of the fact that they have no idea what the fuck to do now.
Josh is going to weep us now. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, you do this all the time.
I do. It's actually
All the time.
my way of like sliding out ideas.
So,
See, I do that like after the game when I'm like, oh man, I'm so paranoid about this thing.
Oh, you think it stops at the game table?
Hmm?
Alright. So,
Off topic.
do we need to continue that conversation or go ahead and wake up the next morning?
you wake up next morning, unless you would like to continue the conversation.
That was mostly what we were talking about before the game.
Yeah.
It started of like, hey Lynn, how about not get involved in this war since we still haven't found our city?
The winds have picked up a great deal come morning, though that has not slowed the camp any, as you can hear them outside, as there is a great bustle of activity.
You still have an elm.
Yeah, I do
I
have
have an idea.
Hootie.
Could you potentially direct the owl to the city? Like, could you get it to fly to the city?
Well,
Could we tie a note to the owl's leg and have it fly
Well,
to the city?
the problem is that I ran into. I didn't realize that I needed to speak with animals because I just was oblivious to that.
Need
knowledge.
is a strong word. You
Right.
need it to actually communicate verbally to them, but they're still an animal that you can use animal handling to direct.
Okay, so I guess I could try to do that.
Because then we could still warn the city without having to march ourselves back there.
So I will try animal handling again.
Okay.
I haven't done it in a while, and I'll see what I got.
So what note are you preparing?
A note saying that do we want to tell them like everything, like that they're coming?
The orcs played in the march led by Thousand Spear. He plans to take out the Earl.
Basic,
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, keep it simple.
Because, I
Yeah.
mean, I imagine it's not, you only get like that much
Yeah.
room to write on the bird note.
I would like to make
I figured it'd be like a Game of Thrones, like when you
Yeah,
little
little,
I would like to make an insight check.
On?
How likely are the orcs to going to be to shoot down this owl that they see flying out of their camp with a note on its leg?
I would more say make an intelligence check. Than insight.
If we make the paper white, and just
15.
kind of blend with his.
It was a snow owl, so it's going to be really hard to see.
Right.
So that'll give it some advantage. It is possible they might shoot it down, thinking that you might be trying to send word, but
Yeah, I'll just raise that concern. And be like, there's a small chance that they could find out about that, and then we're gonna be in more kind of trouble than we're in. Which is kind of a lot
They're
of trouble.
planning to march like immediately when they get up, aren't
they're breaking camp.
they? They're breaking camp already.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The bird will be faster than they will.
Yeah. Just
So
wait
I
till
got a
they, just
19
wait till
for
they
an
leave
animal.
to send it.
Because I don't think at that point they would really think about it or even
Right.
necessarily spot it being snow owl and all that.
It's a little tricky because you're trying to get this owl, like you need it to fly so far, and then give a message or drop off a message, basically. Because the owl is not a trained carrier, so he's not going to know where to go or anything like that. So you're kind of.
I was kind of hoping that your DC was 15 and I got a 19, so I achieved it. That's what I was saying.
I'm not saying you didn't achieve it.
No, I know, but that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that your
But here's
DC
the
was
thing.
15.
We aren't going to get to know if it worked.
No, we're not.
Nope. That's what I'm hoping that Josh is like, well, it's under 15. It's relatively difficult. And then I got a 19. He's like, that's not bad.
As Drundamar, as you're kind of preparing this, Drundamar enters the tent. Looks to his two women who are still in there. Speaks to them in Orc, which yes, you will understand. What you get is him telling them that they're to go with the other women and striplings, as they're not going to be part of this. In which they both bundle up and head out into the ice field, leaving you alone with the Orc chief. We will be setting out soon.
Okay. Figured since the camp's being broken, he's still being allowed to keep all of us.
Yes. You may keep the boy.
Does he have furs or anything? Or if there's something nearby we could kill for furs?
If there was something near you could just kill, we would have probably eaten it. He just pulls a bit of fur from his, basically his bedding, and just tosses it to you.
Thank you.
It's not going to be much, but
It's better than nothing.
yep.
We could cut a little hole in it so you can stick his head through like a poncho.
Lainath will ask you to help because Vol seems less nervous around women. So you two could help out.
Yeah, do you want me to make it like a poncho?
Yeah. Maybe get him to put this on. Great.
You put this on.
Yeah, no, I wasn't preparing any spare for
Make a
And a human?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
It's called persuasion at disadvantage.
Oh right, fuck.
Well, if there's two of them doing it, do they negate the disadvantage?
They could.
10?
He doesn't fight, but you can tell that he's still nervous.
I bet once he gets cold, he'd be fighting him less. Like, oh, warm things? Yes, okay. Keep your distance.
Yeah, we could just be like, yeah, you didn't want it. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
A couple of orcs start pulling down the tent that you are in as they are packing it up. Jornamore kind of, you could probably guess he was kind of like willing to leave that for a bit, or at least leave that till last, but they're not bothering and warning you. It's just the tent starts coming down.
Well,
You're gonna regret that if it gets caught on my horns.
It's not a quick like boom, because this is a big war chief tent. Like you can hold meetings in here.
No, I just meant like if it like slopes
Oh,
down,
yeah.
it's just like, oh well.
Well, there's a permanent hole in that tent. Sucks to be them.
Like,
Yeah, but that's like extra work.
Yeah, you don't need to be giving them
You
an
feel like
extra credit.
that's true. Okay. Well, I suppose that's our cue to roll out.
Yeah. I guess we should investigate the critter.
Did we get the rest of our stuff back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they? Are they marching like just beelining it south?
They haven't left yet, but you're guessing that's what they're going to do. As interestingly, a lot of them are not wearing a great deal of gear. They do have people who are carrying larger packs, but the weight is not evenly distributed. And a lot of the orcs, they're wearing furs and such, but nothing heavy, nothing more than their weapons. And they are already wearing war paints.
It would be really nice to investigate the crater since that's why we came up here. But we need to somehow get down there and get out of town with our people before that town's set on fire. And I still don't know exactly how we're going to keep Nashna warm between cities.
Yeah, no idea.
Like, I imagine that we can use the hot stone method at night, but that doesn't help us when we need to move. And I have some ideas for an alchemical concoction that would make a heat pack that could last us during the day, but I haven't actually had the time to make one.
Time is not with us.
No. And we were what? We were 3 days by carriage between Icecrest and the
Frost?
and Drost.
Yeah.
Which is where I actually had access to an alchemy kit.
You had access to an alchemy kit at the Kulakova
At the
estate,
Kulakova's home.
That's what
which was only a few hours from the city.
okay. I guess the only thing that I can think of, I say as we gear up and get ready to move, I'm not just standing here talking, is if somebody can more or less carry Eshna on their back and hopefully use their body heat to help keep her warm, maybe that can last long enough to make it that 3 hours back to the Kulakova estate. Kurakova? Kulakova. And then we can hopefully make do there for a couple days.
Could probably do that.
Well, the thing we run into is what if we get ambushed or stopped, or because then the next thing you know, she's gonna be out in the cold even longer.
Yeah, no.
Or if a snowstorm picks up, and we can't get somewhere.
I know. I can't think of any better option.
We might just
3 hours shouldn't be that much of a journey. If we can beat the orcs.
Yeah.
Once
That's
the
the
orcs
trick.
get there. Kulakova estate itself really won't be safe. I don't know if
I imagine that
the lady of the house can maintain that snowfield while she's in the capital.
the only thing that's going to be keeping the Kulakova estate safe is the fact that they'll be too occupied by occupying Icecrest. Or Drost. We're in Icecrest. Drost is the city, right?
Holfrost is the city. Icecrest is this
Region.
Yard Lake
Okay.
region. Drost was the tiny town you started in.
Okay. So, they'll be too busy occupying the city, I think, to move that far south that quickly. So we might have a day or two's worth of grace before we need to move again. Because I don't think anything's going to stop that word. Not with Thousand Spears leading it.
I mean, he's probably, even when they reach the city, he's probably still going to send his scouts down farther to see what they can find. And if they discover that, that's kind of an interesting enough thing that we're going to draw attention.
Possibly.
I still think we need to at least look in the crater
Yeah.
while we're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said they only found the boy, but
There's still those dancing notes of blue flame, which was something that Vol was known for.
There might be a clue in there that meant nothing to him. That one of us might recognize. Isn't that right, Will?
A wild cat appears.
Oh yeah, there's something this venue has that the other one did not.
Cat. So yeah, he's your random meowing. It's Willow, a cat.
Little bit of gray fluff.
Someday I'll have a cat cam. I know it's a big deal, especially for my Twitch. Gotta get myself a cat cam. People go crazy for that shit.
You know, you need to get one of those GoPros that you just put on your
Oh
cat.
my God.
All right. So you head north of the encampment instead of south.
Yep.
To the crater.
How far north is the crater?
Like 200 feet.
Okay.
Because they were pretty much positioned right outside of it.
And then how far across is the crater?
Massive.
If I remember, you said it was like a third of a mile radius.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is still too small for it to have been.
The city, yeah.
Which is, it's getting dusted now with some light snow. The snow's being blown into it.
So, some investigations?
The question is, how do we get down the escarpment?
You can slide.
Yeah, but then we have to make sure we can get back up. Plus, we've got to worry about taking care of Ball this whole time.
Otherwise, you climb.
Somebody on ball duty?
Can I convince him to let me carry him?
You may try.
Persuasion.
Or you, because you are also strong.
Yeah. I'm also,
I just also know that I'm the only one in this group, I think, that actually has persuasion.
I mean, you could try it.
just before we go down,
I could try to convince him.
before we go down the slope, I just kind of like to look out over the entirety of the crater. Is that fire still going?
There are still motes of flame dancing in the crater. And in those patches, the snow hasn't gathered. The fire isn't burning anything. It's
Right.
like floating above the air, almost like a will-o-wisp, but not just a ball. It's just a flame that's this light blue that at times you can't even really see it.
Okay.
Are any of those outside of the crater itself?
No.
Okay, so we do have to.
You have to go down at least a little bit to get to one. You don't have to go all the way to the impact point, but you
Okay.
can get partway down the slope. And it's not a massively deep incline. It does slant in. It's a bowl.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know how steep it was at the edges.
Not very.
how far down does this crater go?
From the highest ridge on the outside to the deepest point in the middle,
Yeah.
which is currently covered in snow.
Yeah.
50 feet.
Which over the
Maybe
course of like
60?
a third of a mile. Yeah, it means that it's not a
not
terribly steep
huge.
escarpment. I'm still gonna like use some pittons and rope
Mhm.
to make sure that getting out of this thing isn't gonna be an arduous trial.
You also can't exactly see how deep it is thanks to the snow. It might be
Gotcha.
deeper.
Well, I will.
Because I'm also wondering if, because the fire's clearly magic.
Yeah. Well,
And it's clearly associated with Vol.
Vol was known, like,
For
blue
the
flame
blue
was kind of
fire.
his thing.
I'm wondering if we could get Vol near some fire, if that'll help.
Well, the thing I was kind of curious about is that
Acquisition Incorporated have their green flame. We got blue flame.
We got blue flame.
the thing that I was curious about is if this flame was actually putting off any heat and or warmth.
Put enough left heat and melt snow around it.
You can test
Would
it.
it be enough heat to?
I'm gonna try to light a torch with it.
Well, I was going to say, would it be enough? Would it be enough heat?
Ooh,
for,
it'd be like a
for,
never-ending burning
what's her
whatever
face?
thing. Torch.
Well, that's why I want to
Well,
investigate it.
yeah.
We'll know more
So-
once we've actually tinkered with it a little bit.
So, assumingly, some of you are going to go down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone was going to try and carry Vol. Is that?
At the very least, the two of us are going down to
I
investigate.
I was considering just staying up here with the ball because trying to get him down is going to be problematic. And B, trying to get him to climb a rope is also going to be problematic.
Oh, he can't climb rope.
No, he can't.
But he's not going to.
Do you want to catch these hands?
His
Because it hurt him more than it hurt you.
Vol's hand suffered basically third-degree burns very early in his adventuring career. But he was my player character more years ago than I want to remember. And the story behind that is the flame that burned him was cursed, which is why no amount of healing could ever restore it. So his hands, they basically look like mummy wrapped hands most of the time. They're just fried.
So
I just wanted to see if him getting near the flame would trigger
you
anything.
can.
We can light a torch with it and bring the flame back up.
If you can light the torch.
Do you have? I'm gonna go over and start just trying to.
Because I can just try to get him to one of like
But
the
no,
closer
we'll
ones.
just befriend him a little bit.
You guys have them.
So I'm gonna go and just kind of point down into the hole and just. Do you want to come down here?
He looks more. He's more concerned right now about how cold it is. He's very like bundling himself in those furs.
Try to convince him like to get close to the fire.
Right.
Fire warm.
Yeah. So I'll kind of just gesture to him.
So you guys can guide him to the closest of the flames.
Yeah.
As you do, you can feel the flames aren't so much generating heat as they are almost kinetic energy, more force. It's actually pushing the snow away from itself, which is
Okay.
why there's a little spot.
So does it push us away from it as well?
It's not strong enough. You can fight against it. It's like a strong. It's almost like a strong wind.
I will attempt to light a torch with it.
Kind of like static.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take out one of the torches, stick it in the flame.
I guess I'd have to borrow a torch from somebody because I
You
use
borrow
a
a torch from me. Cool.
Okay.
because I use a hood lantern most of the time.
Stick the torch in the flame. It catches, but the flame starts working its way down the torch very quickly, and as it does, the upper part that's lit is just crumbling, almost as if it's being disintegrated.
I lose that matchstick game.
Let that go, and the whole thing is just it crumbles to a
It's like it's
blackened
eating it.
ash. Yeah, it's kind of as if it's
Is it
consuming.
a mimic?
I don't think mimics can turn into fire.
Campfire mimics? Oh no!
That'd be
I'm
terrifying.
gonna look it up.
Yeah, all the Dark Soul players are having like flashbacks now. Like, nope.
Weird,
What'd you do?
I mean-
Put the video on me.
weird fact: changelings in Star Trek could mimic fire.
Oh.
So
The
Well,
bonfire
but-
is the one sanctuary in all of Dark Souls.
That's
You can't turn that shit into a mimic on me. Don't you do that.
definitely not gonna put it past it.
That's why I hated going back to the bonfire. The first one was out, and you're just like,
Oh!
my home has been violated.
This is supposed to be my safe space.
So,
Well, there's that. Can I make some sort of Arcana check, maybe?
Sure.
Got a 23.
your best guess, this is the equivalent of pure mana. It's magic. It's the raw essence of magic. It's the energy that arcane casters draw out of their own bodies and out of the environment that allows them to create their spells.
Huh.
It's rarely seen in a pure form like this, but it is. Occasionally, you can find it in like fonts of magic or well springs. Arcanists can actually use some of it to kind of re-energize themselves a bit, i.e., regain energy.
How do they do that? Do they just have to come into
They have
contact
to
with
draw
it?
it into their own body.
But is it something that could hurt them if they do it wrong?
Oh yeah, they screw up, and it can kill them if it's enough of it.
Gotcha. And this seems to be quite a bit.
Well, each individual flame doesn't seem like a lot.
Okay.
And that's like when you stuck the torch in, that's because the torch doesn't know how to channel that energy.
Right,
It's a
it's-
torch.
yeah.
So the energy just destroys it.
I'll convey as much to Lynn, who's more of an Arcana expert than I am. She can actually use it.
yeah.
Also, she's been trying to talk to Ball, so maybe she knows how to get him to channel it back, maybe get some of his groove back.
I still don't feel like he speaks our language.
I don't know if he can understand us either, but if we can figure out a way to get him some of this, it might help fight back what's affecting him.
Meanwhile, I'll try to think of ways to contain it, and also maybe start venturing closer to the center of the crater to investigate.
Just
where
because-
the ball landed.
Just for my own
Mhm.
personal knowledge, before I do something I might regret, I kind of want to just reach out and touch one of those
Okay.
motes.
Make a Arcana check.
I accidentally left a hoodie here a couple days ago.
17.
Okay, and make a Constitution save.
21.
So you're able to take the power into yourself a bit. You feel it burn. It's not a painful burn, but it is like from your fingertips where you're touching it. It's like your veins, the blood in the veins, is just raised in temperature a few degrees.
Right.
You have all your spell slots currently, yes?
Yes.
So that power right now doesn't have anywhere to go.
Okay.
So you can try and hold it in your body, which will just hurt,
Yeah.
or release it in some form.
I'm just gonna release it.
Okay. So Lynn puts her hand into the flame. You can actually see some of the energy start kind of coalescing around her fingers and almost seeping into her flesh. And she kind of draws away from it a little bit, and then the energy is not violently expelled, but just creates this small little whoosh of flame above her hand that just dissipates into the environment.
Could you grab the ball, channel some of it into him?
Like, if he doesn't currently know how to channel it himself, could you pass it on to him?
I'm not for comment. That's
You-
something I could do.
You don't think, with him still not being able to challenge it or channel it,
Right.
or not, you don't think he can channel it. You letting it pass through you into him wouldn't change anything with that.
Okay.
Didn't know if Lynn could be basically a power converter.
Yeah.
Can you convert this AC to some DC for Vol? I'll venture closer to the center.
So as you start going, I do need you to make an athletics check.
Okay.
Because it does get a little bit steeper and the snow is getting thicker on the ground.
18.
You slide a bit, but keep your balance. You get down to the point where it's getting close to knee or even waist deep at points, and you're near to the epicenter.
And then I'll try to find a way to clear snow away.
Okay.
So that I can actually do some investigation of this area.
Okay, so you start digging out a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
Not rolling.
Investigation.
Gotcha.
It's taking time more than anything to clear out of it.
Now I got a 14.
So you clear out a decent section and start looking around for anything. The ground itself, you can see where it was just blasted by an incredible force. It's blackened as though by some heat, but most of it is just pressed down. You find the point that looks like it would probably be the epicenter, the actual impact point, and it is very small. It could be the size of a small body. And that's really all you see with your investigations, unless there's anything specifically you're wanting to find.
Hey Lynn, can you detect magic?
I will kind of come and be like, you stay with Vanessa, Paul, and then I'll go down into I'll go down with Silas,
Okay.
and I'll use the wand of magic detection.
Okay. The bulb at the end of it does start glowing. Kind of acting kind of dowsing rod-esque. Like it glows more the closer it's pointed. The motes of energy are really making this thing glow. But there is magic all throughout here.
Does it linger any more at the epicenter than it would anywhere else?
Now, the strongest concentrations are those motes of flame that are just kind of random.
How about in Ball's direction? Can you douse there, see if there's any more magical effect?
I'll spend another charge of the one magic detection.
Point at ball.
Yeah.
There is magic.
Okay. Because I was gonna do that, I just want the orcs to be around while we were doing that.
Yeah. Six found out.
Which I will say that arcane casters themselves do not radiate magic unless
Yeah.
there's a spell actively on them.
And we kind of determined last night that he was under the effect of a feeble mind. Yeah.
We need to find someone who can break it.
Which is kind of an epic task in and of itself.
Very powerful magic to break a spell like that.
Unless the
If only we knew a high-powered.
If we only could
Wizard.
get Ball to help us with Ball, that'd be great.
somebody
The
called
thing about arcane magic is it's not typically used for curing things. I don't
no,
think a ball could fix a feeble mind
only the most powerful magic
without
effect.
spending a shit ton of diamonds.
Maybe a really old wizard. Oh
That
god. You know what that is?
Bow's ready.
The orcs are moving out.
Oh, I thought it was the culverts. Culverts. I thought it was ice cream.
No, Kobolds?
Yes, I went culvert.
Cries echo through the camp. You can see them echoing down the line as the force is beginning to march.
I feel like we should do that sound too.
No,
That's
we
no.
don't have enough people to justify making it sound like that.
We could just say, hey, you want to get out of here? And then we do.
Oh, well, I was just trying to stay within everybody else's. Everybody else is doing it.
We should probably send that out soon though.
I already sent it.
I thought we were waiting until we were away from the orcs to send it.
No, because I don't have that spell for much longer.
I think
Oh.
she
Because I
said
cast it early in the evening, and it's only 24 hours.
you might. Can you cast it again?
No, I don't want to.
I was gonna say you might need to cast it so that the owl can actually get there.
Yeah, because the spell breaks before it gets there. That's just the same as not sending it.
Well, no, that's why we use handle animal.
Yeah, the handle animal will help.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That was just to summon it.
I was concerned.
Well, it makes it more like you
Mm-hmm.
for that duration.
No, I imagine that she sent it off basically as soon as we got to the crater and we're,
Yeah, I sent it right off because I know that spell. I cast it midday.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was trying to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it is fine. It is fine.
Bye, Hootie.
And the blowfish. Yes,
I was
every
waiting
time.
for that. Alright. Do we feel like we might have learned as much as we can from this area now?
Do you?
He's not gonna tell us.
That's more on you.
I feel like there's probably more to find here. I just can't for the life of me think of
Or
that.
this just could be that shiny thing that we need to distract us from our real task.
That is also
We've cleared stuff from the epicenter. Can we make a crude drawing of where the actual moats are located within this crater?
Sure.
Kind of like a crude map of the crater that lists the locations of the moats.
Okay.
And then I'm sure that between like a couple of us we can figure that out.
yeah.
Basically just doing a little bit of surveying.
Notice the boy is really starting to get chilled because you've probably been out here 2 hours now.
We have to get.
And you said that the flames aren't really producing
They're not
much
producing heat.
Yeah.
The furs are giving him advantage on his rolls, but those are not full winter clothing.
I have the Yeti gear. I have is a tunic and a shawl.
Yeah.
Can I give him the shawl?
It'll help a little bit.
I just figured
If you kind of bundle him up a little bit more.
that's just
Doesn't help because he's just a scrawny kid. You've never seen him without his full robes and regalia and his staff.
With the glowing blue eyes and
The eyes.
the I've seen some shit in my day.
He's just a boy now.
This is weirding me out, man.
When we actually get ready to head out, we'll just bundle him up on one of the sleds.
Yeah.
And just pull.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
is
he's not
we'll-
gonna be able to make
we'll-
a march.
We'll
so.
brand Stark and we'll be fine.
this is like a plains region, right?
Yeah, it's an ice field.
At some point before we go, I would have tried to get to the northern crest of the crater and just like look even farther north.
Okay.
Just to see with my own eyes whether or not there's anything of note like on the horizon.
On the horizon, make a perception check.
Because I know that Thousand Spear said that he came from that direction and like didn't spot anything.
Yeah.
But so I want to spend my inspiration to get this natural one.
How important is it you know the knowledge that you wish to seek?
Yeah, well, natural ones happen. Sometimes you have to honor them.
Yep.
So you peer out there, and the biting wind makes it just hard to really see anything, but all you're seeing is just white. Just flat nothing. There are some hills, some mountains to kind of the east and the west, but those are way off in the distance. But actual north, it just looks empty.
Yeah, I'll come back visibly agitated.
So normal.
Yeah, it's more real this time. Often it's just kind of like a passive thing.
So,
we ready to go?
Yeah.
So,
We'll put him in the sled and
We do have a sled, don't we?
yeah.
no
we have
sled.
2 sleds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, you do.
Yeah.
We have 1 sled for stuff and 1 sled for haul.
Um,
I'm bundled up in the fur that the orc gave us, and I wrapped my shawl around him.
before we head out, I'd like to take a look at the map that we have.
Okay.
Does it look like there would be a,
I should mark where where this crater is too,
yeah,
on there.
but I thought that was what we already did.
I didn't think we had gotten a chance yet, because when we spotted it, then you guys got surrounded.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because we were marking moats on a map, I figured maybe.
Yeah.
I thought we were marking that differently, so you
Oh.
could see the.
Yeah, because we wouldn't be able to mark all those on
That's
the
true.
larger regional map that we had.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big map. I don't think I understand, Silas, how big this map is.
Maps are marked, regardless.
Is there a route that, say, 4 adventurers in a ball could take that
Ford of orcs
orcs
could-
couldn't? Yeah.
If you wanted to follow the cliffs, it would be steeper and more difficult of a trek. But that's something that individuals can do so much more easier than an army.
Yeah. We could
They'll keep us
do
from
that.
crossing their paths.
That is also true.
Do you think?
Because they are basically what they're doing is they are marching south on the snowfield, and they're going to have to follow the ridge line, like the outside of the ridge line, and then turn east to actually make it toward Holfrost. And the reason is, and I didn't go into this too much detail in the last session, though I should have. The territories are pretty much blocked off by these ridges. There's a pass that is what allows like people from the like Ice Crest to go north, or people from this far north to go south, and that's where that fortress was that the Jarl was going to reclaim. It's what blocks the pass.
Hmm.
So they have to get to that fortress before they can actually get to.
Yes, they have to take that fortress if they want to be able to march through without climbing over mountain ridges.
That gives us some time.
Because that'll be a fight if he's actually reclaimed it.
Hopefully enough time to make up for the fact that if we want to get over there without running into them, we have to go over the ridges.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is like playing Guild Wars and trying to stay off of the road, and then you just run into that like invisible boundary whenever the mountain gets too steep. Like, I guess I'll just strafe around it till I find a hole.
Skyrim.
Oh my God. Skyrim is the game of, can I just jump up this mountain?
Yeah.
Can I? Can I
I
do
think
it?
I can.
I think
Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna
having
try it.
I'm having trouble with it. What about my horse?
Maybe my horse can do it. It's a Skyrim horse.
It does not give a fuck.
So I think we have a plan then.
It's gonna suck. Let's get started.
Okay.
We're gonna do a fast pace, slow pace. Where we all gonna be?
Considering how important I think this is, I think we should start off on a fast pace and then judge it
Well,
from
we have
there.
to be careful when we're climbing. It depends on how much climbing we're gonna have to do.
Kind of be careful when we're climbing. One
Because-
person's.
I'm probably gonna carry Vol just because I have the safety net of if I fall, I have wings.
Yeah.
And honestly, even with all those furs, you waste nothing.
And I was already wearing half of them myself.
Even if you weighed like 100 pounds, which would be very, very light for, it's still not nothing.
It's
At
not
least
nothing.
Not for me with my strength of 10.
No, but what's your strength?
16.
16. 16 times 15 is
A lot.
quite a bit.
Yeah,
It's like
80 pounds.
It's
80,
like-
80 and 10, so 100 and something.
Okay, that's fair.
Because again, I'm using the simplified encumbrance rules.
Wait, 240. Sorry, 16, 15,
240.
Yeah.
I'll keep doing navigation.
Meaning it sucks, but people that strong can carry like 240 pounds and still travel.
Yeah.
They hate themselves.
I'll keep doing navigation. Vanessa, you want to be on a lookout?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thing is, we might have to be concerned that anything that would have otherwise been on those icy plains would have been moving into the ridges to get away from the orc. So we might be going through denser hostile territory than we expected on the way here.
This is something I meant to do earlier and I keep forgetting, so I'm doing it now. Lainath, what is your passive insight?
Passive insight is 12.
12. Passive investigation.
Passive investigation is 10.
And passive perception.
10.
So I'm taking this card.
And that's basically
10 plus whatever your skill roll would be.
okay.
Silas. Insight.
Passive insight is 13.
15.
Passive investigation is 15.
15.
Passive perception is 15.
15.
My passive insight is a 12.
Okay.
What was the other ones you need?
Investigation.
Investigation is a 13.
And perception.
Perception is a 14.
Yeah, this way, I don't have to just keep asking what your passives are.
That totally works.
What is it?
Insight is 12.
Okay.
Intimidation is 12.
Investigation.
Oh, investigation is 10. I
My
read
passive
that.
intimidation is a 15.
Yeah, I was just going down the list for some reason, and passive perception is 12.
Passive acrobatics is.
I mean, those you can passive. The passives for anything exist.
That's the equivalent of taking 10.
Yeah,
Passive thieves tools. Is...
but these are the
So
ones
10,
that I can
same
look
thing.
at in case I want to say like if you don't realize someone might be lying to you, or you just like looking around, or say spotting traps or dangers. This way it'll be a little easier. All right. So, how are we doing travel?
I'm on navigation. I think we're gonna do one clump.
One clump. Okay.
Vanessa, you want to be on lookout?
Yeah, I can be on lookout if you want to do it then. I thought that Lainath was usually maps.
Is that how that is?
Well, you do the navigation.
Yeah,
The
navigation and map are two
thing is,
different things.
Oh,
map
okay.
is when you're like, no, buddy, not according to the map.
Yeah, the map is following the navigator, looking at the map and being like,
Do you also want me to do
that
one
rock looks like a wolf's
Two?
face.
thing?
That's
Since
here.
I get to do 2 options.
I still have 11
Waterfall.
actions left. Oh, you have 2
Got
options?
it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You might as well use them for 2.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how about? Oh yeah, you can do 2 things. What else
Yeah.
do you want to do?
So do you want me to hunt for food?
Because you're on lookout, and then, yeah, because if you can hunt something, we might also be able to then skin it for more fur, because Vol
Yeah.
is fucking shit.
So I'm gonna hunt and do lookout.
Okay. How about?
Do you want to do map, since if we're gonna have to do climbing stuff, I'll be carrying Vol when that happens.
Can you actually dedicate a task to that? To like.
To just keeping track of Vol.
Well,
Taking care of Vol.
also like helping with the climbing in general. I'll give you like my pickings and ropes
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So you'll be on like caravan basically.
Yeah.
Support.
Sure. And then
Lena's going to help with Sass with the navigation slash maps.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, they have them as just two different things, so it makes it easier.
Well, no, I couldn't. I honestly just couldn't remember which one Silas said. So.
I kind of default to navigating.
Okay.
So that's a survival check if I remember right. Something like do that.
Oh, it's actually in the player guide. Just to see how far you guys can get. Because you are. Okay. Checking the thing really quick. So, going at a fast pace, now you are able to cover 30 miles in a day.
Damn.
24 medium, 18 slow because of favored terrain.
Nice, because it's not. Because we don't get hindered by things.
Yeah.
So now we're really doing.
I'm going to let you guys plan out more and discuss more what you're going to be doing. I need to take a quick restroom break.
Okay, if you go through the office, go into the office, take a left.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot he hadn't been here.
I think we pretty much have our plan set up until we roll.
Well, he was just trying to
Yes,
set
RP.
time,
Yeah.
so that we're not just sitting here dead space.
Dead space.
Dead space.
Yeah.
Just silence.
Yeah.
And then suddenly alien.
Oh
And you're like, wow, man, another jump scare. Oh, buddy, wow, oh, good job, great. You really know what a horror game is.
So-
Mm.
So we do need to
I
know.
have strong opinions.
I could tell.
For the people who might be listening, I have some strong opinions about horror video games.
Maybe that was the whiskey and pie that I ate during the entire
I
duration.
feel like
of
whiskey and pie would greatly enhance the experience of Dead Space.
of any game, really. But so about this game, what are we gonna do when we get back? When we actually get to town?
We need to reconnect with our people first. That's the top priority.
I think the only thing that we can do
And
is
then after that, potentially.
Cheese it?
Turkey.
yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I feel like we can do is cheese it because I don't think that we should be stuck inside a city that's
Under siege.
under siege. That seems just bad all around, and I know it's going to be tough for.
We've already warned them.
Potentially. If the
Potentially.
bird makes it there. And if anybody even takes the bird seriously. It's
If
not, like, it's not like we're from here. Our seal doesn't mean anything to them necessarily.
If I don't have the opportunity to rig up an alchemical solution to the heat, we've got 2 sleds.
Yes.
I'm wondering if we could affix a bracer to one of them so that we could have a mobile flame.
What we do is we make Snake Lady and Ball Snuggle so that they'll both stay warm. I'm sure that could not
That
go
actually-
any worse.
There's nothing that
Nothing
could
that could go wrong there.
Nothing at
except
all.
except for the fact that she is actively cold-blooded, so that would be one-sided. He would be getting all of his body heat to her, and he would be getting nothing in return.
But if we do that, we can also
He would
get
be
more.
getting cuddles in return.
He would be getting cuddles in return, but that's
He would feel
cuddles do nothing if you're dead.
Okay, but we can also give like more blankets so that his body heat would radiate into the blankets and warm them both.
Yes, but that still maintains the point. If he's giving up his body heat, he's pouring energy into a system and getting nothing back.
Well, the point that I was saying is that we have 2 sleds.
Yes.
We obviously, like, this idea that you guys are having, it would be like a 1 sled idea.
Well, we still need a sled for all of our stuff, don't we?
Are we using the sleds for our stuff at the moment?
I thought that's what we
Yeah.
were doing.
Okay.
I thought that.
I didn't know how much of our stuff was actually on the sleds at this
How
point.
much stuff do you not need if a fight breaks out? I imagine that's
Yeah.
what's on the sled.
Yeah. Because the other idea I had then is that we just bind all the stuff that we aren't actively carrying to a sled and just pull it up behind us like if we have to climb something.
Because my thought was
Just not having stuff not be on your person while clubbing makes clubbing a lot easier.
my thought that didn't involve snuggling the snake lady was that we put a brazier on one sled.
And that's saying that he would even be okay with.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying not to assume here.
He probably would. I don't think he would be comfortable with that idea.
But the brazier could heat stones that we could use to keep Ashna warm, as long as there was a decent enough barrier between them that they didn't burn. So I think somebody had mentioned canvas bags of some kind.
Probably the safest route because
I mean, if we have a
they're less likely to catch.
Yeah.
But they'll still transfer heat.
It would just somebody would have to be on duty stoking the fire.
what we really need is we just need a hot tub sled. That's.
We need a hot tub time machine. Go back, save our city from any.
Oh, because a team of 4 level 1 characters or level 3 characters could.
Yeah, we'll go back and we'll tell the level 20 characters. All we have to do is deliver a message. You could be level 1 and deliver a message.
Except
also, we're level 3.
Except you travel back and you pick the wrong level 20 character.
Okay.
So
in your mind was thinking that we could ask my mom.
Like
Yeah.
Old wizard.
Yeah, she's also a wizard.
You find Lay and you tell her, and she's like, so who else have you told?
That was where I was being sarcastically saying, only if we knew someone old. There's a wizard that's old.
See, I thought you were making a joke about Paul.
No, I'm
because
referring to my
Paul
mom.
is old. It's a
I
wizard.
was referring to Vanessa's mom.
Oh yeah, your mother would. Your mother would be quite useful.
Oh, no.
My mother would
I
be
feel like
quite
this one
useful.
of those like.
I ate
corrupt-
all the peanut butter cookies. Oh no.
You did eat all
Nope.
of them.
Yeah.
It's
I
one of
think
those
there's one left in there.
corrupted wishes that it's just like we need to tell somebody about it.
We just go back and tell the witch.
No,
We just tell the witch.
No, you just go back and you tell Reese, and Reese is like, what?
We didn't go back far enough. He's like, senile.
What?
What did you say?
What did you
Reese
say?
would never
Sonny?
see. Reese would see. It's kind of good.
Yeah, I'm sure Evan kept him in like decent shape, even when he's old as bold.
What if it was like the crown from like I'm just getting more nuts like as he got older?
Oh, Tell me, old Reese was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, and princesses apparently.
Very much princesses.
Wow.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, keeping with the adventure time theme.
What are you doing? This is We're supposed to talk about the game.
We got that taken care of. This is
We got that taken care of. You hear that, audience? We got it
Things-
taken care of. We got it all figured out.
everything's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
sure these plans are very solid.
It's
Nothing
fine.
could go wrong.
I'm not sure. I mean,
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
in Vanessa's defense,
Vanessa's defense.
Wait, what?
Vanessa's hearing Lynn talk gibberish about some penny dreadful she's been reading. Because that's how I imagine like any of our references to modern day media are actually references to like penny dreadfuls and stuff like that within the context of the game world. So Lynn has been reading a like serial magazine called Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, my thought was that it would, because you said gibberish, was that it was like our characters just speak Aklo for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Aklo is just modern day references.
Nobody gets.
Nobody gets. It sounds like crazy talk.
They don't. It makes sense.
Aklo is just a bunch of non sequiturs about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aklo is
That's been my headcanon this
Wait.
whole time.
Aklo is what happens when player characters are speaking the words that their players are saying out of character.
Does that mean Snort Cardgate speaks Aklo? I really gotta go walk back and watch Strong Pen emails again.
Yes. Yes, it does, Marta.
But what I'm saying is that it would be difficult to plan more without additional input, which is kind of why we kind of left the creators. Like we don't really know what else to look for without having time to kind of compress what we've
To
already
excavate a
learned.
crater.
Yeah.
We don't have the resources to do that.
No, we don't have the
I
resources.
have one shovel.
Time being the most valuable resource. We have none. We are in time debt.
But again, why we need the constant time machine.
Oh my god. I'm not terrible with my alchemy. I'm not that good. And plus, I'm sure that there's a lot more involved than just an alchemy kit.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, with the alchemy kit, I might be able to help with the hot tub. You know, you get the
I
like.
feel like that would take some engineering as well.
Well, yeah, but you gotta get the salination right and all that stuff, right? Like amount of chlorine content, because you don't want the hot tub to get so hot that it vaporizes the chlorine and then kills everybody that's in it.
Yes.
But I mean, that would be like the long-term solution for Ashna is just to build her an actual hot tub. That's what we do.
And then we all fight over not getting to be in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking hot tub, man. Shit's nice.
Got a little quiet.
Right the
We
door.
were talking about hot tub.
We decided
No, this was 100% like in character.
We
and-
decided a hot tub would be the perfect solution for Ashton.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Right.
what do you? Yeah, sorry. As a GM, I hate having to take a break mid-game, but sometimes just happens. Also, GM advice. I sometimes call it the GM throne. If you're ever lost, just claim you have to go use the restroom.
Exactly. Just thinking there.
I swear that wasn't what this was, but whatever.
You never know.
That sounds
We
like
never know.
that sounds like something that a GM would say if they needed to think about things.
No, I'm honest when I do it. I told my Saturday group, like, hey guys, I'm gonna take a break and go lay on the couch for a bit.
Yeah, I know. I gotta figure out what to do, because holy shit, guys. You have either fucked up really hard, or that went way too smoothly.
Or everything I had
Welcome
planned
to the
today.
Saturday group.
Yeah, everything I had planned today, well, just went out the window. So I need to rethink
No,
some
you
things.
guys did not do that. So, you guys decided on the fast pace. You got your marching order. You're going up the cliffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna start this off with some climbing. Yeah. If you have a climber's kit, I believe that makes it easy.
None of us could afford climbers kits.
Never mind.
That was not
There's
in the
literally-
cards with our level 1 gear. And it wasn't.
Sorry, you're talking about like tool, like pittons and rope, and I was like, oh, they must have the kit.
I got some of that with my burglars.
You
kit.
got some basics. Okay. So,
I got like 10 pittons.
getting
And I
up
think
there.
I sacrificed one of them crossing the bridge.
Getting up there, using your scoutiness and rangeriness, you guys can find 3 ways up. Kind of along the same route. You have the hard way, which will get you to the top and make the rest of the way easier. You're getting the hard out of the way first, you're getting up as high as you can, and then following the ridge. There's an easier route you can climb up, but it requires you going back around, like further north and then wrapping around. So that'll take more time, but the climb itself will be easier. Or you have the kind of the middle road, where you follow it for a ways, climb up before it gets too steep, but not so far as to wait for it to get to slanting down where it's easier.
And just so we're above board, the climb would be an athletics check.
Climb is athletics, yes.
And would we be getting any bonuses or detriments, any advantage or disadvantage based on the conditions in our equipment? Because knowing the actual odds will probably affect.
That's very fair.
Never tell me the odds.
He doesn't need to say you have a 5% chance of survival, but that would be helpful. I just need to know, like,
You always have
how.
5% chance of survival when you're making a climb check.
Because that's really funny. He's right.
No, he's right.
Although, if you have disadvantage, that cuts it down.
Oh, yeah. Actually makes it significantly worse.
Significant.
It's there.
Sorry, I'm just looking it up to make sure I'm going to be doing this right. Climbing.
1 in 380.
It's like a nuts. One of the worst ones.
Okay. So, the way you're looking at it is, well, give me exactly what you're looking for. I'll try and.
How hard is a typical roll?
If you go with the easy one, the one that will take the most time, it is a fairly simple, straightforward climb. Which I will say in this game, normal check, easy being DC 10. The middle route is a bit harder, but not extensively. The quickest route you're looking at being considerably more difficult, especially as you get higher up and the winds really start trying to catch you.
Okay, wait. I don't think we should do that. Not without proper climbing kits.
Yeah,
so
once you get slow and steady,
You
it's
have
what
what,
die.
10 buttons?
Yeah,
That's not enough buttons.
9 actually.
9 buttons.
So-
It's not enough buttons. 9!
There's.
Nine!
I would like to put something forward.
Okay.
To be, you could just fly with Vol.
Yes.
Yes. I have the ability to cast Featherfall.
Okay.
So and I'm also reasonably athletic. If I can get up with a rope and help other people up, is that that basically gives me 2 kind of free chances of climbing myself. Assuming that I make it okay, then that also gives me 2 uses of Featherfall to get these other 2 up. Does that seem like a reasonable plan?
How high up is the cliff?
The hard one
Mm-hmm.
is, you're guessing around 300 feet,
What's the range on Butterfly?
60.
But
You have to time it right before you're supposed to land.
yeah,
Well, I mean, you target the person. The difficulty there would be if you go up,
yeah.
they climb after you, but then fall when they're high enough for it to be a problem, but not high enough to be in the range of your spell.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think we should just take the safer route.
I was leaning towards the middle of the road.
Is it possible to switch routes in between? Like if we take the middle and we find out that it's too challenging, we can.
I mean, presumably, depending on how you discover it's too challenging.
Yes, so they found out it's too challenging.
Because I mean, yeah, you can. What I will allow with things like this is you can kind of test it, would be seeing what the difficulty is.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to guarantee that the difficulty is going to stay the same for the entire climb.
My vote's middle route.
Which one?
Middle.
Kind of the average of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like the harder one's too risky with how high up we'd have to go
And,
because it'd be out of the range of our safety net.
and the easy
Yeah.
one
And the
might,
easy one will
might take too much time.
might take-
Admittedly, the easy one, you're only looking at going up 100 feet, and then it's just more of a steep incline the rest of the way. The 2, the middle and the hard ones, just being above board with those you're both climbing all the way up. What's up?
Somebody was kicking like rhythmically, and I was like, "What even is that?" It wasn't like the vibration.
It wasn't me.
No. So you'd be the first I'd look at.
I know.
That was the first one.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
I don't know, was that?
Anyway,
Yes.
Anyway,
and I already. How high did I say?
You said that the hard one was 300,
Yeah,
and
that's
the
300,
easy
yes.
one was 100.
Yes. The hard in the middle are 300 feet. The easy one is 100 feet.
I think the middle one is.
Yeah.
I have reason to believe you could
Well,
do
then-
that one with no problem and be able to help them,
Well, here's the other thing is that maybe in that case I go last.
so that you can.
I can cast when they get into my
And then
into
potentially
my range.
I could get the rope
Well,
to the top.
I mean that being
I mean, that'll make it easier no matter what if you
I
have
mean-
rope to help. But
I mean
I've got rope.
that being said, if we did that methodology, why wouldn't we just do the hard one at that point? I'll just climb last.
do you have 300 plus feet of rope?
No,
No,
but for the middle route, we also don't have.
we still don't have that much rope.
Yeah, we still don't have
'Cause
that
I
much
have
rope to
I
do
have
the
50
middle
feet
route.
rope.
You know, I also have 50 feet of rope, but so it's either we.
My thought being that they could potentially do the middle route. I don't think either of them are capable of doing the
Yeah,
hard
so
route.
let's do the middle route then. And
Not with confidence.
Yeah. No offense to you, you don't look the most athletic.
I'm trained in athletics. I just don't have a strength bonus.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot.
Lainath, what's your carry? Like, what's your maximum carry?
240,
So with between.
which should be the same as yours, I believe.
Yes, I was just saying between.
How much do you weigh?
Yeah,
Is that what you're asking?
I'm trying to.
The problem is
Go.
taking into account all of your gear, all of their gear.
If I'm carrying my gear and ball, I'm at my limit,
Okay.
and I can't leave ball up there by
and
himself.
she can't fly at her maximum load.
Well, no.
He can't fly.
What I'm saying is leave Vol here with me. Fly everyone else up.
Fly people up one at a time.
Fly people up one at a time, starting probably with Silas.
And then just come back for the gear at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll stay on here and guard the kind of we'll call it base camp.
How are the winds on the different routes? Because that would be a thing if it's too fucking windy on the hard route.
On the hard route, it doesn't get insanely windy till you're near the top, but you can see the snow billowing off of it, and it looks pretty rough up at the peak. The middle route has a bit of a wind block. That's actually what the hard route is doing for it. It's what's making it the easier one, is the winds aren't as strong. But they're still going to get rougher the higher you get.
Yeah.
And the easy route isn't high enough for the winds to get that way.
I could probably just do that on the easy route, and it would still be a challenge on the other two
Yeah.
routes. But it sounds like the middle route would still be the two, the easier one. Because the wind was a lot worse in the hard route.
Now, is this? How? It's gonna be really easy for me because of the terrain, right?
For
everybody because of the.
really quicker for when you're actually traveling. The climbing isn't really helped by your favorite terrain,
Okay.
or the natural explorer, I think is what they call it now.
Yeah.
But once you're actually traveling, it'll be a great deal help. This is still on everybody's actual physicality because you're going rock climbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I could try to do that for the middle route then. I can try and fly people up one at a time.
Yeah, because I don't.
Leave my extemporaneous gear on one of the sleds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably take him, then her, then Vol, then you,
Yeah.
and I come back for the gear.
Well, we've got two things of gear, so that might be a pain in the butt to try to carry two sled loaded with gear.
Well, I could do 2 more trips.
It's fair.
1 trip per sled.
And what is your fly speed? Curious?
Currently 30 feet, same as my walk.
So it'll be carrying someone else. It'll be like 15. We'll say. So still getting up there at a decent speed.
Approximately the same speed as climbing.
Yeah.
Because climbing also has your speed.
Yeah.
limit.
Yes, but climbing requires more checks and checks that can fail.
Yes.
So yeah, it'll take you about, even flying it with someone, it'll take you about 2 minutes per flight. Okay.
Does that sound agreeable to everybody?
Means I don't have to make a check that I might fail.
We're going to do this like we did on session 1, where the person being carried gets to make a check to see how much of a pain in the butt they're being for poor Lainath.
I'm trying.
Just don't wriggle.
I'm trying not to wriggle.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
It is either athletics or acrobatics at your discretion, because I see either working in different ways.
I'll go acro. 23.
Okay, you're not causing, you're keeping yourself as limp and as zen as possible, making sure that you're doing the work of holding on more so than Lainath is, so Lainath can focus more on the actual flying. The takeoff is the roughest part.
Right?
Please keep your seat backs and tray tables in an upright and locked
For
position.
Lainath, it is athletics.
Acrobatics is modded 20.
Come on! I mean, ascending itself is pretty tricky on its own, especially going a straight ascend, which you can kind of go more like whipping around, trying to catch wind currents. Your flight being semi-demonic, it's partially magical, but there is still physics involved, even though this is D&D.
Yeah. We're gonna wait till high level before you start breaking physics.
Before physics start getting thrown out the window entirely. You're just like, screw it. So you make it. I'll give that the check for the first half.
Cool.
So you are now about 150 feet up, holding on to Silas. Silas is being zen as Silas can be, because
The iris embraces you.
Yes. Do I gotta make another check?
I'll let you keep the same check because you keep doing what you're doing.
Death is whimsical today.
Well, it's in your best.
I love that one. So did my dice because I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Okay.
I didn't use my bonus one from last week.
You still have it.
Okay, good.
You
I
don't-
have officially used it.
You don't lose homework inspiration. Keep that until you spend it. Which I thought of an alternate way of doing that, but I haven't implemented it yet.
So I got it.
The wind catches under your wing, and the two of you take a little bit of tumble. I would like
Shit.
both of you to make acrobatics checks, as basically the wind changes suddenly, and kind of mid-down flap, one of Lainath's wings is just forced further down than the other, and sends you both into this, like, a spiral that nearly sends you into the cliff face.
I got a 19 to help recover.
I got a 6.
I'm helping.
This isn't a help. This is each of you on your own.
I'm gonna take the cliff face, so you don't take the cliff face. Is what's happening right now.
Didn't want the inspiration.
No, because I still have my normal one.
Well, you only take, then it takes 2 points of damage. Silas kind of turns and catches the rocks, and is now just clinging to the side of this cliff. I need you to roll again.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics this time.
11.
You catch. You are holding. You are no longer in flight. You are in, I am a cat on a curtain.
What, fall over?
Only the curtain is a rock. You are both 150 feet up.
You guys okay?
They cannot hear you. It's too much wind.
Meanwhile, we're yelling down, "We're not okay!"
Lainath, you are 60
They're fine.
60 feet below Silas.
Lynn, I hope you're ready to catch us.
Shit.
She doesn't.
So technically, you are
They're fine.
you're 90 feet above the ground.
Okay.
So you can more see probably just in the speck, and you can tell it's Lainath because of the wings. That I always picture Lainath's wings are like Disney's gargoyles. They have like little claws at top, so they're also like hooking onto the side. Basically, has two extra, much weaker, like T-Rex arm kind of strength. Just like I'm doing what I can, boss.
No, they're totally fine.
I'll get you. I'll get up there.
How far am I, like, from the top?
From the top, you're halfway. You're 150 feet. You could go either 150 feet up or 150 feet down.
Oh, damn.
It is your call.
There's look this way. There's no real penalty for trying.
There's a penalty for failing. Otherwise, did I just hear you say I got you?
As Silas, you start hearing.
Is that you, Lainath?
That ain't me.
You don't hear that.
Just what me?
I'm like, okay, is that Lainath? I need to know if that's Lainath. Is there a check I can make to determine if that's Lainath?
No, it's Hootie.
You can roll perception. Your passive caught it.
My passive heard it, but my passive didn't identify.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually see you right
Oh,
now,
that's
right?
No, I imagine you're doing the same thing I am, which is this. What?
It's totally Hootie. He's coming back to save
My
us.
perception was a 17.
Flaps. Those are flaps. Those are several flaps. Those are a lot of flaps. Those are ladies with
Oh my
bird
god.
wings and claws.
No,
Harpies.
no.
I think they're friends.
There's a flight of harpies that heard this commotion as it was near to their nest in the rock. They're coming out to see if they just found an easy lunch.
Can I hide?
You can roll initiative,
Okay.
which is what everyone can do.
Oh, I was not prepared.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Ugh,
so not ready.
gross.
Not yet. Gross.
I don't want to go first because I don't know if we're shooting or
Well,
not.
I can tell you I'm not going first.
I don't know about that.
I can tell you.
I wonder what a grenade would do in this situation.
Does anyone else get a natural 20?
You said else? God.
I give enemies individual initiatives, though. So
I know.
I'm not going to be that. Well, they all got a natural 20 because one of them rolled real good. All right. Did anyone get a 15 or above?
20.
Okay.
Modded. I said that really excitedly.
Let's see. Only one who got a 15 or above?
Yeah.
I'm winning it for our team, guys.
It's too cold, man.
It's very fucking cold. It's very fucking windy.
Vanessa, she's here for the win.
10 to 15.
11.
Under 10.
I got 8.
Natural 1.
She did know.
Oh, I knew. Which nets me out of a 1.
There's still a 5% chance to get tied.
But we didn't.
Alright. The first harpy sees this person clinging to the side of the rock. She wants to try and grab. It's advantage because you can't really move, but she rolls the same thing. So that would be a 12.
I am nimble, even on this cliff face.
Get off! Just try.
It's fine. They're okay.
Vanessa, all you see is Well, you don't see Silas, which is it means he didn't fall wherever he is, but you see Lainath like clinging to the side of the rock face.
Do I see the harpies?
No, too high up. The snow and the wind is kind of blocking your sight from them.
I think they're fine. I don't see any danger.
He didn't fall, so
Yeah. We just have to wait.
everything's fine. It's all good.
I mean, I don't have any way to know that
I know, it's
danger.
just funny. He didn't
We can't really do anything until they fall. So. Yeah, it's my turn.
Okay. The next harpy comes in and clings to the rock wall with talons, as the winds are not making it easy for them to fly either. And she's just right above you by about 10 feet, just looking down.
Those look really handy. The talons, I mean.
And she begins to sing. Her soft music somehow piercing this wind and filtering into your mind. I need a wisdom saving throw.
I believe in you.
That's one of my 3 bad saves.
I still believe in you.
Wait, no, never mind. Out of my 4 bad saves, that's the least bad.
Oh, see, there you go.
And I got a natural 20.
Alright, you resist the harpy's song.
Which is a 21.
Noting that is you are immune to her song for the next 24 hours. Third harpy comes by and just tries to slash at your back. Taking the 16, which would give her a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
7 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
And then with her second attack, she is going to try and grab you. 15.
That's a hit.
Alright, so she gets to make an athletics check. You can make an athletics or acrobatics check. You are at disadvantage.
Acrobatics. Netting out at a 12.
Beat her 7.
Nice.
So you're just holding that rock as her claw grabs your shoulder and tries to yank you off. And you're just like, no! No! Need to note these. As a harpy swoops down and comes to Lainath. And these two like stop as they look and they're seeing you and are kind of surprised by what you are. They're not quite sure about this. It's like, that's interesting.
Fuck off. Fuck off, birds!
That doesn't look.
As yes, you two can see these two winged humanoid shapes kind of fighting against the wind, flying
Holy
right
shit,
above
they're
Lainath.
not fine! They're not fine!
They are not okay!
Oh, fuck!
Oh
Silas,
shit!
Yeah.
you're up.
I wish I would have saw that sooner.
They might still be
I'm stuck between a rock and a harpy place.
Yes, you are.
We have one direction.
No, I've still got 2.
I think one direction
I
is
think he's gonna try to
vastly
hide.
preferable to the
But-
other direction.
The question
I think he's
is,
gonna try to
their
hide.
nest is probably somewhere nearby,
That's what I
right?
said earlier.
Yeah, but they're
Probably.
different
That's
things.
probably the only place I'm going to be able to stand and fight. So I need to make my way to it.
Okay.
I didn't see it on my way up, so I'm assuming I need to climb up. So I guess I gotta climb.
Athletics.
What other direction is
They
there?
don't catch you.
What?
They don't catch you. She's wonderful.
Remember, he has trust issues.
She can still catch me if I climb up and fall.
Climbing up, you'll be alone.
little wisdom.
Fall down, feel on your teeth. Do it. Do it, man. You already decided.
Who do you?
This is athletics, acrobatics, either
Athletics.
athletics. I got a modified 20.
Okay, you ascend 15 feet. Is that all?
I don't know what else I can do.
Let's say look for the nest. So you
Sure.
Passive. So you're looking around, and through the snow, it's a bit to your left. You can see what looks like a ridge that might lead into a cave.
Okay.
It looks like it's about 40 feet up from you.
Okay.
No, 20 feet up. 20 feet up from you.
I don't suppose that I can like do more climbing, or just now I know where it is.
You know where
maybe
it is.
I can double move next time.
As
No, because climb is an action, right?
climbing is an action, like it is a standard action.
So then the move action is just wasted.
Yeah.
Okay.
In other words, you had a question.
I answered my question.
Okay. Next would be another harpy. As it peers down from the nest and sees you as the closest thing, kind of lets out a shriek. And she throws a rock at you.
I'm starting to take this personally.
The rock scatters against the cliff just right above your head. A little bit of the snow, ice, and stone just kind of splattering down at you.
I glare at her.
Glare angrily at this harpy.
I can't throw daggers right now, so I'm gonna stare at them.
Lynn.
Well, everything's awful. I was gonna say hold my standard, but it's a reaction anyways, so I'm just gonna hang out down here because there's not really a whole lot I can do. Yeah, that's yes, that. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm protecting Ball.
Trying to find. Let's find some fighting music. So next would be the next one of the harpies. The last of the harpies.
3? Do I count?
7.
7.
Oh.
2 were staring at me all like, what?
Oh, that's
2,
Tori, yeah.
2
I knew there was
attacked
2 on
you.
him.
1 sang at you, 1 threw a rock at
As
you.
it flies down towards Lainath, getting kind of right behind, and starts to sing.
Don't sing at me.
Make that wisdom check.
I don't need.
Save.
I'm playing a Nox music right now. Okay. Wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
18.
Is their song considered a charm?
It is.
Oh, well, and I have advantage.
Good.
Still an 18.
You're welcome.
You pass.
I know,
As
because I
you
have it
can
on
hear
my
the
sheet.
music, sweet song is just calling you to let go. But you're like, nah. Nah, it doesn't,
Nah, man.
doesn't sound good to me. Think stay here, it's fine.
Think
What
pretty
music is
nuts.
this? Yeah, it works. This is kind of stressful. Next would be Lainath.
Okay, so I got 1 harpy singing at me. 2
Yep.
harpies ogling me.
Mm-hmm.
Silas is up there. Lots of harpies around Silas.
There are several harpies around Silas.
Are there any harpies down by my ground
They
fence?
aren't worried about them.
Not yet.
Haven't got to it yet. Okay.
I'm going to release the fury of my arrows.
I need to get to Silas. I need to figure out how to get back to flight from here.
Push off.
Yeah, you can push off.
Okay. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay. Make an athletics check. You will provoke from
Swan
the line.
dive.
14.
So you
Swan it up.
push yourself off, try and downbeat with the wings as hard as you can. She will take a swipe at you.
Okay.
but it scratches against your armor. And you fly up.
This is the cliff. You should just taken the disengage action to fall away from them.
So your move brings you 30 feet up. You're pretty close to the other 2 harpies that were just kind of watching you. That was a move action.
Okay. I will, I suppose, convert my standard into a
So
move.
dash.
Yeah, so I can get to him.
Okay. That'll be another. You'll still be like 15 feet short of him.
Okay.
With a dash. Doing that, the other 2, they'll take a swing at you. They're like, ah! Didn't expect this.
You saw my little bitches.
No, they did, but they also saw you were trapped against the rock. Like, maybe this person can't fly real well in this wind. They
Shut up.
got both of them also clatter against your armor.
Sweet.
Doing cool
So I'm
acrobatics.
assuming your armor's higher than 14.
It is.
I have a actual rules question.
Yes.
Does gravity count as force movement?
Like making them fall.
Falling?
Does falling count for the
Falling
purpose?
is, I don't think falling provokes.
Okay, I was just curious.
I think it's too fast.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be Lainath. Back to the top. Would be the first harpy that tried to pull you off the rock. She flies up to you, and you can tell they're also having trouble with the wind. They're just rolling really well. They're also not trying to carry anything. And she is going to get a 19 to grab at you. That
Connects.
all right? Athletics or acrobatics? She's trying to pull you off.
Acrobatics. Got a 12.
This time, her talon grabs a hold of your arm, yanks you off the side of the cliff. Damn it. You are heavier than she anticipated. You are both going down.
Damn it!
As both of you descend 60 feet. That's how far you fall on the track.
Which brings them to 90.
Brings them to 90 and
Brings
just
them
both
past
right past you.
Shoot! No! Fuck! I was almost there.
Vanessa.
You're gonna catch him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shoot the bow at the harpy that is pulling him down.
Okay, the one falling with him.
Yep.
You are at disadvantage because of the winds.
I thought you said he was only 90 feet.
The winds.
The
Oh,
winds.
it's fine. I don't know why I looked at you like you could help me.
I mean, you could have.
Would you help me?
You could have spent inspiration and canceled it.
12.
As the arrow flies straight and true, but then the wind just catches it. You just watch the arrow just kind of veers
Yeah.
off and just
My second roll was a 19.
it's gone. That arrow is gone.
Yep.
That arrow is very gone.
I don't know why I sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Just both of the other harpies that were kind of harassing Silas also watch as he just.
We didn't think this through, did we?
Should have carried him up to safety and then killed him.
As they see you and switch their targets, since you've become close to them, going for Lainath.
I just determined the D&D speed of a free-falling skydiver.
17.
17 on the nose because I don't have my shield.
Jeez.
I'm imagining because I'm flying.
No, my
Scary.
first roll was like a 5, so that's why it wasn't worth using my inspiration.
You take 6 points of damage as one of them slices you.
67.
A free-falling skydiver, in Dungeons and Dragons terms, would move 1,066 feet per round.
Per round?
Per round. Because it's 54 meters per second, taken out to feet in 6 seconds.
No, D&D says 60 feet.
Okay. Okay, D&D.
Otherwise, you're splat.
That's also free-falling skydiving, like, there's
The other one
other
clawing you twice, but
circumstances
you
here.
managed to shield yourself from her. Then need to make checks. The second one is now on the rock wall. And she wasn't able to keep her flight with these winds. Then the two that were on you originally fly up to you. They kind of want to make it so you can't fly anymore.
I did dash. Did they catch up with me?
Oh, that's right, you dashed. So that is what they're going to do to catch up. Both of them made their flights. Silas, you get to act before you continue falling.
Quick question. What is the likelihood that we cause an avalanche?
Possible, but not high risk.
What is the possibility of causing an avalanche if I use a grenade on their nest?
Very high risk.
Okay. That would probably be a poor decision.
Might be a fun decision.
Oh god.
I haven't completely discounted it yet, but right now I've got other priorities.
Yeah, right now you're falling.
Namely the fact that I want to make sure that I land on the heartbeat, not the other way around once we hit the ground.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to engineer now.
Okay, make a
If I can pull out a dagger and help with that.
you can either attack or make an athletics check.
Shake her real good.
Shank a heart.
I don't suppose I'd get a sneak attack bonus if I attacked
No.
under this extreme circumstance.
No.
No? Man, I really wanted that.
Mainly because I found any time that you have disadvantage on an attack roll, even if otherwise you would have sneak attack, you don't get it.
Gotcha.
Disadvantage always cancels out sneak attack.
This time around, I'm going to go ahead and attack.
Okay.
And then the next time around, I'm going to try to maneuver because I don't feel like we're moving fast enough to hit the ground immediately.
This turn you'll move more. Next turn you'll hit the ground.
So I get one more chance to act before we hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to try to get a couple licks in this time. And you said I'm rolling with disadvantage?
Mm-hmm. You're trying to cut at her, but the tumbling, because you're almost not skidding, but hitting against the rock face a few times, and it's just miserable for both of you.
Nobody is having a good day.
No one is having a good day.
She did not think this through.
No, she did not.
No, they were just like, ooh, food, pray, because we like to eat people.
Oh, heavy.
Didn't realize we were adventurers. With attitude.
So that was Silas.
With some snark.
The harpy up in the nest is just kind of like, well, that took care of itself. Lynn.
Still guarding Ball, and is trying very carefully to judge her casting a feather fall such that she casts it at kind of the last possible second.
Okay.
To not give the harpy very much time to react to Silas suddenly not falling very quickly.
Okay. Silas is in fall, but casting feather fall, and this is a reaction.
Yes.
So you don't have to hold action. You are
Yeah.
just kind of like, all right.
Yeah. I'm actively using the sort of because guard isn't an actual action that you can take. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not an official one, but I allow it.
Okay.
You are interposing yourself.
I'm interposing myself, and then just kind of judging to be like, okay, when he gets to this point,
Okay.
I will cast the spell, and maybe it'll kind of be a bad time for
The other harpy
harpy.
trying to sing at you is to make the check. She can fly. She flies up, but has to dash also to get to you. And it's your turn.
Alright.
You have harpies abound.
This is a lot of harpies. This is a lot of harpies. Man, I don't know.
I wonder if a group of harpies would be called a harem. I think they should be. A harem of harpies.
Harem of harpies. They might be.
Be a good name for them.
There's 4 flying around me, 1 in the nest, 1 on the wall, 1 falling. Is that correct?
Well, the one in the nest is far enough away from all of you.
Okay.
But
She's
there
just
are-
like.
There's 1 on the rock wall. 2 that are on you, or 2 that are on you that were above. 1 that's on you that came up from below, and then 1 that's still flying that hasn't actually engaged you yet.
The one that's on the wall.
Mhm.
Because I imagine she's in the easiest hitting position.
Use a melee attack, they're the same difficulty.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit her with an axe.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss.
According to Reddit, a group of harpies is called the View.
That is, yeah.
Damn.
Wow. Your axe cleaves into the side of the rock, not hitting the harpy, unfortunately.
Credit to the canon of Reddit for that joke.
Harpy falling with you. It's like, nope. It's gonna just try and fly, catch itself.
I ain't gonna let that happen. We're in this together now.
She has disadvantage. But she pushes away. It's not your turn yet.
Really? Because she just left my threat.
You're in free fall. And okay. You know what? Disadvantage, and I'll let you try.
Jesus.
See, because she,
I hope he gets 2 natural 20s because I
Because
really
she
want
did
him to happen.
leave his threat.
under her own volition. Yeah, that makes sense to me, I guess.
It was the squint that made it. And I started off, I rolled like an 18 plus
You gotta
my attack
remember.
roll of,
That's points for detecting evil and nothing else.
and yeah, I netted out a 10, so.
That dagger is.
Bye, dagger!
She is.
No.
rocks.
You will be missed. Good thing I have 2.
The squirrel from Ice Age somewhere about to get hit by that dagger.
Mhm.
Vanessa.
That's the thing that causes the
Okay,
avalanche. It hits
so-
the acorn and then
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, there we go.
split, yeah.
Is it still a disadvantage to shoot her?
Yes.
Okay.
Because distance and winds.
I gotta shoot
So
something.
there's 2, we need this, and there.
Because you gotta shoot something.
Is that a 1?
No, it was a 5 again.
Oh.
And another 5. So 12?
That arrow.
I mean, I know it didn't hit last time, but maybe.
That arrow's very gone.
Dang it.
So I'm assuming that this is the point where I'm just like,
This is one I'm looking
well,
forward
it
to
was a
2
good
shots.
plan while it lasted.
Yeah, you can really.
feather fall.
So you start. You are now only falling at 30 feet. And you will land safely.
Ooh, get your bow ready. Oh, because you're falling. Land on the ground, shoot an arrow, might as well.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary
Poppins, y'all. Hell yeah.
Best part of that movie.
Man.
Is she cool? Yeah, she's.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Nice harpy. The one that tried to sing it, Silas, is clawing, trying to get Lainath this time. He wants to grab him, not to like carry him, but to just have hold.
Sorry, I was thinking of from what we do in the shadows. Bat fight!
Bat fight.
Bat fight!
So you can roll athletics or acrobatics.
I'll take athletics.
According to the D&D 3.5 wiki, it is a clamor of harpies.
Clamor.
She won.
All right, that harpy has hold of you,
I've rolled 3 natural ones this fight.
and using that,
I've had 2 turns.
she
One of
pulls
which I
you.
dashed, and I've rolled 3 natural ones this fight.
She pulls you up 20 feet. She seems to be trying to take you to the nest.
Trying to feed into your veins? This is a terrible idea. I would give them such indigestion.
That's babies.
I would give you indigestion too.
Next,
I'm just more concerned about children.
I'm
Next
made of
harpy.
evil.
moves in to assist that harpy. Actually, no, the next harpy is the one on the wall. Next, she needs to try and fly out. She did. So she comes over and she is assisting that harpy in pulling you to the nest.
Ladies, please.
Don't fight over me.
we can talk this out.
The following harpy is going to attempt to get that axe out of your hands.
I worked very hard for this axe.
Athletics or acrobatics?
I did. Very hard.
Yeah,
You earned it.
fun or wrong.
I did. We did.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
14. You got the armor, I got the
You
axe.
beat its 13
Yeah.
as it grabs the axe.
No, I earned this!
No! Papa Call wants me to have this! You know, it'd be kind of great if you were a tiefling right now because of like the hellish rebuke.
I could just glare at that one. What you mean?
The last harpy on this lets herself drop down a great distance. Has to make that flight check. She does. She is coming for a slow falling Silas, but she doesn't make it to him yet. Lynn. Or no, I'm sorry, Silas.
Oh, so she came in my direction.
She is coming in your direction, and there's also the one that said no and is on the wall.
She didn't make it.
No.
I'm slow falling now.
Yeah. So her or the one that caused you to fall in the first place are both within 30 feet. Which is no disadvantage for this close range.
The one that caused me to fall in the first place.
Okay.
She's gonna catch an arrow.
Okay. I'm Legolas, motherfucker.
No, this is a John Woo movie. I'm falling in slow motion while shooting or something.
Yeah, what do you think Legolas was in those movies?
Oh my god, you're right.
You're not wrong.
However, I don't think an 11 would hit them.
No.
Unless they have a
Also-
lower AC. Because
They do! They have,
Also, like,
they
Yeah.
have
100%
an AC of 11
Hey!
because they're naked and they're not that dexy.
But she got
Hey!
12s.
I got 2 12s.
maybe it's just when they're clinging to a wall.
No, I was actually wrong on that, so my bad.
Retcon, I get 2 damage rolls.
Sure.
Yes! You see, I wasn't upset about it. I was like, no, I get 2 damage rolls.
Because my eyes are so bad, I was looking at it for a little bit of distance. I thought that said 15, and then I looked closely. That's an 11. My eyes are terrible.
I still missed though. I rolled a natural one.
Yeah.
I'll just add her all of hers up if that's okay.
Sure.
Because it was the same person I was shooting each time.
It was. I'm trying to remember this one.
The one that was falling with
Well, I only dealt 5.
20 altogether for both arrows.
So she is pretty messed up looking, having received 2 arrow wounds previously, and now getting shot by Silas.
I easily forgave you. I just wanted the damage.
She was just so in the heat of the moment that she didn't realize she'd been hit until just now.
Yeah.
So
that's worse.
no, I'm gonna say actually what happens is that Vanessa was just shooting. It was so straight up in the air that they missed going up and then just impacted.
Me too.
Yeah.
What goes up?
The one in the
She's
nest.
like, ha, you missed! And Vanessa's like, did I?
The one in the nest just sees these 2 arrows reach their apex and then go back down. Huh.
I should have probably caught them. We'll see what happens.
I want to see where she's going with that.
I'm not a monk. I mean,
New archetype Zenith Archer.
new archetype anima
I was
archer.
about to say, Vanessa thinks she's an anima right now.
Yeah.
The harpy in the nest is staying in the nest because she's quite content there. Lynn.
How
You're gonna let his sister do all the work, and then she'd be like,
the one that's
it's
coming
time to get it
for
out for some food.
Silas right now? How far away is that?
She's
from-
that.
She's not stupid.
She's that guy.
60, so she would be 65 feet
She's
up.
just there to collect all
Okay.
the good prizes.
She also might be the smart one. Be like, girls, it's windy.
Yeah.
You got
Food ain't.
I would like
We're
to.
not starving, or maybe we are. Who knows?
I would like to hold my standard for it to enter my threat, and I'm going to throw an axe at it.
Okay.
Imagine it might have been hard to get food for the last couple of days that orc came in. Right?
Probably.
Yeah. Probably.
I mean, Booker had that roast pig.
The orcs did.
The same for the harpies.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
couldn't find a lot of food because
That's fair.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought we were talking about us. I was like,
The
right, that
last of the harpies flies up and grabs onto the rock. As the wind catches her, it forces her to clutch on for safety, so she does not come up and slice at Lainath. And then it'll be Lainath, who's being towed by 2 harpies.
I saw the one harpy did not do well holding him up, right?
Yeah.
Do I think if I just went limp
Limp noodle.
that they wouldn't be able to pull me up, that
If
I
you
would
just-
weigh too
If
much?
you just dead weighted it.
Because
They
I'm
would
in-
get mechanically they would get an athletics check. Because the one is being helped, they would not have disadvantage. Otherwise they would have disadvantage.
You could try it.
I do imagine that's like wriggling around and stabbing fuckers is even
Oh, yeah.
more arduous than just going limp.
I'm I'm gonna try and hit the one that's assisting.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hope that the other one, if I can knock the one off, the other one won't be able to lift me.
Alright.
That I'll be too heavy for her. Because if you're too heavy for her,
Between you and all
I
your
should be too
stuff.
heavy for her.
God, yeah.
So, am I at disadvantage as they're pulling me?
No.
Oh.
You can attack one-handed when you're. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Yeah, you can take it.
Yeah, with a one-handed weapon. You can.
Can I swap my weapons? Right now I have my axe, which is a two-handed weapon.
You would basically lose your. I forget what drawing is if you already use one interaction. You can either let go of the axe and draw as your interaction, or yeah, you can. I'll say it's a bonus action probably. So interaction to put your axe away, bonus action to draw.
And then swing it.
I think I'm doing that right, but I could be wrong.
22.
22 is a hit.
Nine damage.
9 damage to the one helping.
I was thinking it was.
Okay. Then it would be the harpy that was flying after Silence.
I would like to release my held action.
She only fallen, has gone 5 more feet down.
Yeah, but you said 60. She said 65
Yes.
last turn.
Oh, 60 is your range?
Yeah, well, it's either 20 or 60.
Okay.
So I'll make the attack roll a disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She comes in, release your ready action.
16.
16 is a hit. These things have much lower AC than I thought. That's fine, because this is a crazy situation.
Maximum damage, 9 points.
That hits her right in the chest. It doesn't drop her, but it's significant.
Bonus action axe is back in my hand.
She's going to slash at the slow falling Silas. First attack got a 22. Second attack got a 10. It's for 7 slashing damage with her claw. Vanessa.
Okay. I will try to shoot the arrows.
Okay.
Again.
Disadvantage.
Okay, whose turn's next? I got a 1.
That arrow.
Went from a 14 to a 1.
The harpy's up on the ridge. As Lainath is still struggling. He's going to try. Stab him first. He's going to claw. Missing both times. Scraping and trying to tear away Lainath's armor and not doing a really good job. Next one the same. And the same result. They are not getting through this armor.
Good. Made this.
And then the one that is actually pulling you with the other's assistance is going to like that. And doesn't get any higher. This is kind of struggling now, but still managed to maintain flight.
Get off of me.
And the other one is still helping, and then Silas.
Have I landed yet, or do I still have another round before that?
At the end of this round, you will.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna still try to get in a lick before I go down. The one that I had previously fired on.
The one that's
you
in
can
your,
also
the
fire
one
on
that's in your
something?
grill.
There was one already in my
There's
grill.
one in your grill that you fired at.
The one that's been falling is the one
Yeah,
I'm shooting.
The one that you shot, the one she shot twice, and now has an axe wound in her chest.
So then I'll, I guess, pull out my rapier and stab. So
Okay.
I've got my bow in one hand, my rapier in another.
Alright.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Where are you, D8?
The element right there.
This is a lesson for everyone. This game. GMs can screw up too.
Hey, all I cared about was I got my damage. I was like, you're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, shh, do I get my damage?
I'm not gonna. I made a mistake. I'm not gonna punish you for it.
11 points of damage from the rapier.
So, as you're slow falling, thrust up with your rapier, piercing her chest, and as you come gently to the ground, her lifeless body just thuds into the snow beside you.
Something for me, Goldman?
And I try to
I'm moving slowly anyway.
Get
Yeah, you're still
pieces
you're in
of
feather
this.
phone.
Harpy.
Get some feathers.
So say,
And that
we're
harpy
gonna-
is still up in the nest, just like I'm fine.
You know what? This is fine.
This is
She's
just
just
fine.
kicked back. She's like in like a wicker chair, just like
It's rocking. It's like,
Yeah.
this is actually kind of nice.
this is fine.
I don't get a lot of me time. It's nice that the girls are all out. Next would be. It was way too funny than it should have been. Lynn.
Okay, so that one just fell. There's another one that was sort of harassing Silas too, right?
No, the others. The others are all pretty much on Lainath. Because Lainath, you could just barely make out at this point. This is like swarm of.
It's like cartoon, like cloud with the fists and swords and talons coming out of it. You can see that up there. Lots of wings.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of the best course of action for me to
Like 10 feathery wings and 2 bat wings that are all just going crazy. Well, 8, because one of them's still on the rocks. He hasn't jumped off yet.
It's bad news bears. Bad news bears. I am going.
It's right behind.
I don't dare start climbing. I'm going to hold my standard to sort of harass any that happen to enter my threat for whatever reason. They
Okay.
Enter my threat.
This harpy that's on the rock wall jumps off of it, manages to get herself going, flaps up, and is going to attack Lainath. And he's going to get a 14 and lower. So also, just Lainath, just like, no! Get away!
Harpy!
All off it! Get off me!
Come on!
Then it would be Lainath.
The one I stabbed last time, I'm gonna stab her again.
Okay.
Stop it. You can stop. I asked nicely for you to stop, but you didn't stop, so you get stabbed. 15.
15 is a hit.
This time I am going to remember that I in fact can smite things.
Yes, you can do that.
I would do that.
Okay.
They aren't outsiders.
They're not fiends, they're not undead.
$21 damage.
21 damage. Oof. She's still holding on, but not real well.
Oh, max smite damage.
Vanessa.
Okay, so
You saw a flash of light.
She saw a little
hold-
burst of divine energy.
now are you free falling or the
No,
one's still trying to carry?
They're like all trying to carry me up.
Okay,
So,
so
I'm trying to
I'm gonna shoot
get off.
one of the ones that is trying to carry him up
Okay.
and is also wounded.
Okay.
There's one of them.
That's
exactly.
really hard to tell.
Well,
Given
you
distance.
really, honestly, it's like whatever one I can hit is fine. I didn't know if you want me to try to hit
Okay,
a certain
so
one.
you are at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay, I'm pretty sure I get this one. 16 to hit.
Okay. That's a hit.
$10 points of damage.
That's the one that you just smote as a little beacon for Vanessa to follow with an arrow. Very accurate considering the wind as it strikes, catches her right under the chin, and that harpy falls, which puts all the weight of trying to pull you up on the other one.
Yeah,
Or you're still kind of keeping yourself elevated so that she's not falling. She probably would if you were not also trying to keep yourself at least a lift.
Oh, I have another idea. But that's going to depend on what all the other harpies do, but I have an idea.
They're also just going to keep. This one is actually going to switch to helping.
We'll just keep shooting them down.
And then this one is going to claw at you. Ooh, one of them got a 19 on the claw.
That'll hit.
Didn't lay the right damage on it. Yep. 7 points of slashing. As that one actually finds, like, right near the side of your neck, just where you're not armor plated, and just rakes the talons against your flesh. And then this one is going to keep trying to pull you up. And does not. That one is not moving you. And then it would be Silas.
I'm landed now?
You're landed.
Thank you.
Yep.
I like give a thumbs up to Lynn, and I'm like, and shoot some more.
What's the range on the short bow?
80 for short range.
You're not 80 feet.
320 for.
So it is possible you're at disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I
You
got a longbow.
would technically be at double disadvantage, but disadvantage is just disadvantage by the rules. I can say you just can't do it, but that would be boring in a fight. And I'd be like, none of you can do crap. All Lainath. No, that's...
Homie, just getting the shit out of me.
I have a longbow, so mine's 150.
So yeah, it's for longbow, you're just at one disadvantage.
Yeah.
Alright, well. So I can fire.
You can fire.
Okay.
You're just disadvantaged.
And how many targets do I have?
There are 4 on her.
There's one that's wounded, the one I've been shooting the shot at.
At this point, I'm just going to say
that
I'm
one-
firing at a heartbeat.
That one just hit the ground next to you.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, since I'm at disadvantage to
Never
fire at
mind.
them, I'm just going to let Josh determine which ones get hit. Because I'm
Yes.
like, well, I don't want to hit Lainath, that's all I care about.
It's technically, it's still just falling, but you can tell it's a limp.
Oh. Never mind. That one's dead. I forgot. I killed him just a few minutes ago. Or her.
13.
13 with the disadvantage still hits, because they're really low AC.
Here's a question.
Yes?
They can't see me, can they?
No, but you're disadvantaged.
Oh, right. You're totally right.
Because you also have someone in melee with that.
Yeah. Okay. So.
If you spend an inspiration, not be a disadvantage.
You would be a regular attack.
That was I thought you were asking for the purposes of your.
Actually,
Your
yeah, if you
sneak
spend
attack.
inspiration,
Right,
you would not be at disadvantage, which means you could get sneak attack. Bart is right,
Barbara's right.
because that would be the luck of it.
And I did not spend my inspiration earlier. I've already rolled my damage.
Yeah.
5 points of damage.
You just know for next time.
Yeah, next time.
Next time you can make that decision.
Alright, because I'm just rolling a d4 to see which one you hit. That would be Nest Harpy, still being Nest Harpy, Lynn. We should probably just take the Harpy off the fight, but she might end up doing something.
She's really contemplating her movements. In this.
Yeah.
If they die, then I'm just gonna stay here. And I lived another day.
Depending on how spiteful you guys decide to be.
Maybe that harpy's the cook.
She's just got the cauldron going.
Yeah.
Man, they are taking forever, so stir this broth.
Thought we were going to have demon stew tonight. Very spicy. Demon stew.
Lynn.
Lynn is doing the same thing she's been doing, is holding her action for something to get him to
Okay.
threat.
Then one
Yeah,
that,
give me threat.
one that so that was actually a shot. Cannot claw. Lainath. There's too much armor.
Leave me alone.
They are rolling so bad, it's funny. Lainath.
God damn it. Can I tell that one of them has an arrow sticking out of it?
Yeah.
I will hit that one.
Okay. Gonna fight, turn. Aha! Gonna. You're injured.
18.
Hit.
Only 13 on that one.
Okay. Only 13.
3d8s?
Yeah.
Oh, plus my bonus.
That's better than half.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no.
Vanessa.
My
Okay,
bonus is plus
everyone
3.
up.
Yeah.
So I only
Disadvantage.
got 10 out of
Yep.
3d8s.
And roll into a natural 20. Yeah. Alright, so 11.
That's a hit, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still 13 out of 27. So almost out.
100.
Come on, champion. Dita.
You're right in that bell curve.
Whoops, that was a cocked. Oh, wait. That's not right. I put a 7 instead of a 3. I was like, wow, I did good. Max damage, 11.
Let's see which one you hit. You hit nothing.
I feel like every time one gets hit, if a different one gets
How much
hit,
damage, sir?
11. It's like winces and almost drops you.
Well, this is one clawing at her.
Oh, huh?
I'm doing bad tonight. So Vanessa shoots her. She's raking Lainath's back. Ah!
I'm not even gonna bother trying to like find these arrows after this fight.
Harvey, no.
I realized that I had in all previous encounters. Be like, find my arrows. Like, nope, not this time.
Trying to.
That was
It's helping pull you up. Next one attacks. That one hits both times.
It's
That could be a
PS.
problem.
It's just PS.
That could be a problem.
5 points of damage.
Okay.
And 8 points.
That's a problem. I'm down.
Limp, which the one's carrying you. Ah, we got it.
Do I drop my sword?
You do.
Okay.
But the axe is still on your back.
No, my axe still. But
Wait.
you see my long sword.
Yeah, you see the long sword fall.
Use that inspiration. Second, get some bonus damage.
You're
I'm
next.
no longer threatening it.
No, but I'm hidden
It's
because they can't see me.
Yes.
Did you say I'm right?
Yeah.
They're carrying her up further.
Use that inspiration.
Him up further. Damn it.
It's okay.
Use that inspiration.
Okay, so your regular shot.
I'm hidden. They can't see me.
Yeah.
They're too busy trying to fly up.
I'll give it.
Sneak attack.
I got 21 to hit.
You hit.
Be snaky. Be really snaky. Super snaky.
Well, that one, whichever it is, takes 14 points of damage from a particularly nasty arrow.
That one would be the one that just knocked Lainath out. Harpy up in the nest. About time. Jesus.
Starting to get cold.
Lynn.
Oh, she's around the.
I'm running out of firewood.
Shit, Lynn starts climbing.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Make that check.
She can knock over that broth and just destroy us.
14.
14, okay. You are 15 feet up.
Is there like a fast climb in this game?
No.
It just has speed all the time.
Yeah, it's half speed unless you have
Unless you are a thief.
unless you are
or
a
an
thief.
archetype.
No. It will take us 10 rounds of climbing to get up there.
They'll take more than that. 150 feet was where you were. You went another 15 feet, and then you still saw it above you and to your left.
Approximately somewhere between 12 and 15 rounds to climb.
Next would be one of the other ones that was clawing at you. It's basically just helping lift you now. And now is your first death save.
17.
One pass. Vanessa.
Alright. I can still see him?
Barely.
There were 2 19s. I definitely hit.
Nice.
I rolled 2 19s. I don't even have to add my 7 to that. 10 points of damage.
Points of damage. Okay.
Trying to do what I can and maybe like weaken one, kill it, or.
The problem is you're hitting different ones each time. That's what's
Yeah.
happening right now.
I can't focus fire because the
It's
wind
too
is
far
pulling
away.
him. Yeah.
Key. Is that time you actually hit the one that was carrying Lainath? But that's a problem.
Not for me. You still have a spell slot, right?
Yep.
There's a tumble as the harpies are. Oh crap!
Because I would rather her fall and
They're not in
save
free
her.
fall, but they basically lost. They basically lost 20 feet
Yeah, I'll try to keep her from the nest.
because she's being helped by 2 other harpies.
Because I'm pretty
Right,
sure
that's
you
why.
would be eaten and just killed before we could even get up
That would
there.
be Vanessa
So
helping.
Depends on how much preparation
Helping.
you put into their food.
So they gain that
But
20.
probably, yeah.
They gain that 20 feet back.
Which puts them how high are they now?
They are 100.
But look, I swear to God.
They're 160 up now.
Okay.
It was brand new. You stop that. You stop that.
Like, it's what I do. I cluster.
You have 2 scratching posts in there that are for scratching, specifically.
But couch. Next would be Silas. No, I'm not Lab Cat.
Oh,
I-
you've been so snuggly.
Are they
Those
are they
actual
still
people over
within
here,
the
you're like-
320 yards?
What?
Are they still within 320 yards?
320 yards?
Or feet? Sorry.
Yeah.
And can I see them well enough to keep firing?
You can fire at them,
Yeah,
you just can't focus on which one.
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
That's
At
that's what I'm
disadvantage.
gonna be doing.
Do you still have inspiration?
No, I spent mine.
Not inspiration.
Okay.
So you
Doesn't work.
It's not going to give sneak attack. Or yeah, well, yeah, well.
It's still striking from a hidden location. The
Yeah.
problem is that we do that before I roll, and then I get a 9.
Well, what's your bonus? What's your bonus?
No, I rolled 4 plus 5.
Oh.
I know that it won't hit.
You just want me to. So that one misses, unfortunately. Lynn?
Lynn keeps flying.
Okay, make the check.
16.
You are being very frustrated. So you're up 30 feet.
She's been a lot more like
She's been
outgoing
like
and chill.
super,
Yeah.
a lot more friendly. Versus
Just don't be Artemis and get spoiled. Next would be Lainath's second death save.
one fail. Is that what it
One
said?
success, one failure.
We watch the prior.
Vanessa.
Alright.
Delivered on Friday.
Disadvantage. Oh. And a 9. I guess I could re-roll a disadvantage, but no.
The harpies have Lainath in their nest.
Damn it.
Lainath, go ahead and continue making death save.
Success?
One success.
How much success you have? 2? 2.
Success, 1 fail. Right now. Another fail. 2 and 2.
Ooh.
And then you can have my other inspiration from last week.
I still have mine too.
Oh, okay.
See if you need it.
I'm gonna save it. As soon as I went down, I was like, I'm gonna save it.
Don't tell them what you get.
This number.
Everyone look up.
Let me know. So, Lynn is climbing. What about you two?
Do I have targets anymore?
No.
Then I'm gonna have to start climbing.
So, you'll get 2 more before they start.
21.
Okay.
12.
So, you guys are all going to start climbing?
Mm-hmm.
Give me
Somebody
athletics checks.
needs to stay with Wall.
I guess I will. Because I can shoot further? I don't know.
You do actually have a better shot than I do from down here.
Yeah.
You can throw one off or push one away. I can try to help from down here.
I'll let you know that I look like shit.
Oh, before you go,
What's that? What do
can
you do?
I
It's
can
like
I
a-
do
it's
cure
like
light
a
wounds?
bear?
Yeah, you can cure that one.
Oh, okay. It's a healing.
Apparently, it's a healing bear.
Like, before you go.
Security Anderson.
I had to touch you.
Okay.
They look awesome.
Yeah. You look awesome.
No, I'm literally at 1/3 of my hit points. Which is better than Lainath.
You healed for 10.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then I start climbing. How many checks do I need to make?
Make 1 for now.
Okay. Athletics?
Yep.
18.
As just having you repeat rolling will be boring. So, you guys are climbing, so. Help me later.
Like 9.
Just check. 12.
I had already climbed up.
You already have, I'm saying total.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Which is insanely fast for moving a mountain.
Well, we're motivated.
You are motivated.
Lynn's particularly
To save
motivated.
or perhaps preserve body
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
for true res.
True res. Level 3. Okay. So you guys.
I know a person.
Let me tell you. You can't afford that.
You guys climb up as quickly as you can while Vanessa waits below with the boy. The winds just pick up the higher you get, but you still make your way as just gunning for the nest. Lynn gets there first.
Yep.
Makes it to the edge. Pushes herself up, and there are 3 of the harpies waiting as they kind of guessed you'd be coming.
So maybe they waited to cook their meal.
Let's roll initiative.
Oh, again?
I like you stayed around so I could kill you.
$15 to $20.
15. What you gonna do?
Okay. 10 to 15.
10.
Lower.
7.
Getting all their health.
Probably fucked a few of them up pretty good.
Yes, you did.
Well, that's not on the fucking film.
How many more of the Spedifals I get left?
Other than that, I only got 2 personal skills left.
One harpy. This one has been severely injured by several different blows. Comes up to the edge, and it's just going to try and kick you off.
I'm assuming Featherfall's not there.
I'm going to make athletics or acrobatics.
Make athletics. It can handle multiple targets, but that's all if they like fall at kind of the same time.
Gotcha.
21.
One, you go. Hold on to the ledge as much as you can. You're up.
I would like to pull myself the rest of the way into the.
Okay. You push yourself up. That's just going to be a move action.
Okay. And then the one that just tried to shit kick me off is going to. Can I take the? So that was the entirety of my move action.
That was a move.
Okay. I would like to bonus action my glaive in my hands.
All right.
And I'm going to swing at it.
Okay.
That is going to be an 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
For 12 damage.
Slice open that one's belly. It reels back, holding its stomach. Angrily just. Next will be the other harpy up here. Comes up and is just going to try and slash you. Getting a 13 and a 12. You block both of them, just their claws raking against plate armor. Next one in the back of the cave. Gets a club. Comes out and is going to swing it at you.
Okay.
Miss. And a 19. Shield. You throw up your shield spell and block the attack. Ness is at the bottom, just watching the boy, waiting.
Just have my arrow ready when needed.
Silas, one turn, climbing, make a check. Well, getting there. It'll take you 3 more turns.
I just realized something I didn't know was done.
What?
I shielded. Yeah.
There's Featherfall.
No, the thing is, he wouldn't be able to.
See you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
The harpy.
The Featherfall is for you and whoever's
2 of
following
the
with you.
harpies in the
That's
back
it.
of the cave are just tearing Lainath's armor off. That's taking time because you're wearing heavy armor.
Yep.
So getting it off of you is not an easy feat. We go back to the harpy that you just slashed. She is going to attack you again.
Okay.
Shield is still in effect, and she rolls terribly. So your magic blocks her talons.
Okay.
It is your turn.
How far away are the 2 that are carrying me?
They're in the cave. They're about 20 feet in.
I would like to move and attack the ones that are carrying them.
Okay, you will provoke 3 attacks of opportunity.
May I still
Don't die. You can't
19.
save me if you're dead.
Hit.
You can't save me if you're dead.
For 5 damage.
Okay.
Next one. Only got a 13. And the last one got a 15.
Yep.
So they both miss. So plate.
Yep.
So you run in.
I'm going to attack one of them.
Okay.
21
21's a hit.
for 10 points of damage.
10 points. Okay.
And then I'm going to action surge and hit the same thing up.
Okay. On your way back.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nat 20.
Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Angry Orchard, and Mike's Hard Limited.
What was the last one?
Mike's Hard Limited.
Mike's Hard, please. If that's available. Mission back.
So, Nat 20.
Roll double damage.
I would not have listed
Yes.
it.
Still check. You are host. I am guest.
There's Pepsi and Dr. Pepper
21
and
points of
shit
damage.
else.
Yeah, 21 points.
So don't make
21 points. You severely injure one of the two that was full health when this started. She jumps back, hissing, and just tries to stand between you and the other one as much as she can.
And I will say in my like most sort of like commanding voice, leave and I can't kill you. I'm just reminding them that they have options.
They could just fly away.
You can just fly away and I can't kill you.
They kind of respond with, and you could leave and only your friend would die.
There's more of you than there are of us.
And the last one is continuing to tear the armor off. The first harpy that you severely injured rushes in and tries to claw at your back. Getting a 17
Miss.
and a 17.
Yes.
And then the next one. It's going to miss. And it's going to miss. Wow. They roll above a 7. Vanessa's still watching. Silas climbing.
Yeah. Same.
Getting there. You're getting there. The harpy that you just attacked claws at you angrily. 9 and a 17.
Yeah. So the one that
And then the final.
oh, that's
There's still more.
It's not purpose.
There were a lot of harpies.
Yeah, there are a lot.
There were a lot of harpies.
Instead of continuing to tear away armor, just puts a talon at Lainath's throat. I could end this right now.
Oh, the original. Thank you.
And then the first harpy is just waiting to kind of see what your reaction is. Now is your turn.
The one that put the finger.
Yeah. You would imagine that she took a readied action, or if you attack.
I'm just gonna respond. I'm just gonna respond with, if you do that, I will kill the rest of you. I will make it my mission to hunt you down and murder you all. Believe me.
So what are you doing? Or you can make an intimidate. That could be an action.
I'm going to make an intimidation, but I'm also going to move out of the way so that they can get past me and get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So you're basically saying what you're going to say, just kind of like, there's your option.
There's your way out. I got a 16 on my intimidate.
16. So the harpies are. Some of them are kind of looking at each other like, thinking this might be a good idea, specifically the ones that are very torn up. As the one in the back, that first tried to kick you off and you just screwed up, she will just fly.
Okay.
As from climbing, you do see one of them.
Yeah, I'm still climbing. My hands are staying
And you're
on this
way at the
wall.
bottom.
No, me.
Yeah, and you're way at the bottom. They're going.
Yeah, that's why I was like, too fast.
And the other one that was tearing the armor off that you just screwed up with that crit is kind of backing away. But the one with the talons is still there just waiting. That was it. These two harpies are going to wait. They're kind of waiting to see what this is going to be. They're taking readied actions. Vanessa's at the bottom. Silas,
This is my last climbing check.
you need 2 more.
2 more.
Because it would really help us intimidation if you were there.
If you like did the sneak attack on the one that's actually
That's what I
got
would
the
like.
leverage.
That's
and
what I would like to do,
Mm-hmm.
but I just got a 7.
Which means you do not make progress.
Okay.
The rocks slide from under you, you catch yourself, but you're just... Damn it. wounded heart.
I totally want to get up there and be able to sneak attack on the hostage negotiation.
Next wounded harpy is also just. So 2 have just booked it.
The one that was making the stew is probably the one thinking, I don't know why you guys are so scared of these guys.
The one making the stew is the one with the claws.
Yeah, that's what she's like. The rest of my sisters are idiots.
Back to you.
I can take you. You guys look weaklings.
Just kind of waiting.
I'm just gonna be like, I'm also gonna take a ready to action. She doesn't anything to.
Right. So basically, everyone in this little stance is just kind of waiting.
I want
like,
you to pop out and
just like
murder that
I let them go.
without her knowing.
You know,
So are you wanting to
be smart.
ready, or are you wanting to take another intimidate?
I'm gonna take another intimidate.
Okay.
I want them to get the fuck
I
out.
got 15.
I want them to GTFO.
The only issue, Kaci,
Modified 20.
is that the one with the talon to Lainath's throat is the one that was cooking and therefore has taken
I
no
know.
damage.
But I think it would really help his intimidation if you popped out of nowhere
Oh no!
and like double dagger or something.
Well, one of my daggers
As
is lost.
one of the other ones is just this. A single meal is not worth this. And she almost runs into you as you're like right at the edge.
I'm like doing the count in my head. Like, okay.
But there are still 2 up there. One of the 2 is hurt, but not severely. And this would be your last one.
And my goal is to get up here with stealth.
Actually, no. That was your action. So yeah, go ahead. This is not your last one. This is the one making up for last turn, where you didn't make any progress.
13.
You made progress. One more turn. Still holding. Back off, or this demon dies.
I'm giving you an option.
And I am giving you one. Lynn, would you like to do anything different?
I'm trying to weigh my options carefully.
Wolverine arrow.
Scary story appropriate. Considering what a session.
Who has inspiration?
I have
I do.
one.
Okay.
I have.
Just checking.
What I would like. I'm trying to think. I know I don't have a whole lot of time to debate this, but my internal monologue is saying that I make another. How many of them are left? There's just the 2.
2. One that's slightly hurt, and the other that is the one who hasn't actually been in the fight.
The one we've been calling the cook.
The one that is holding Lainath.
And the one that you're guessing was probably the leader of this little. What were they called again?
Clamor.
Clamor. This clamor.
I would like to.
Do you? I like that one better.
Again, credit to the canon of Reddit.
I'm going to.
You can always wait till Silas gets here.
I'm going to lay down my weapon.
Okay.
I'm going to say, give him to me, and I let you leave.
Say that after putting down your weapon?
You can always pick the weapon up.
I mean, yeah.
Silas, make your last climb check.
I got a 10.
That's what you need.
Okay, good.
You are at the top. And kind of just push yourself over. As you see this little standoff going on.
Can I stay stealthy while I get my weapon ready?
Because you're a rogue, you can use a bonus action to hide.
Stealth. 17.
Okay, you are hidden.
And I would still have to wait another round before I get an actual action.
Yeah, because your action was climbing.
But I guess one item interaction would be pulling out my short bow.
I don't know why I just gunned, but
So bow
You
gun.
just got a big upgrade.
I did play Shadowrun on Friday, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
Can I have that option, Josh? Can I have a gun, Josh?
No, I'm waiting for you maybe to pick up like a hand crossbow because you're one of the few people who can use one.
Yeah. Wasn't possible for starting kids.
No, hand crossbows are very expensive.
Because they're easily concealable. Then it would be the harpy that has the claws. Watch as you put down the weapon. Looks to the other harpy. Kill her! That harpy will release her held action to strike at you. Getting a 21
That's a hit.
for 5 points. And then it goes to your turn.
How do I'm so used to doing stuff like that in Pathfinder. How do like combat checks work? And
What do you want to do?
well, I was seeing the feasibility of just tackling the one that has the finger to
An athletics check.
Lainath through.
It's an athletic proposed by either her athletics or her acrobatics at her choice. The attacker always uses athletics, the defender gets to choose. I'll tell you now that they're the same for her. So
Okay, I'm going to instead bonus action plays back in my hand and swing down at the one that's got the finger to
go for it.
Lainath's throat. I figured that's my best chance.
Okay.
Best worst chance. 18 to hit.
18 is a hit.
That's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted to see. 5 points of damage.
5 damage.
I know that feel. I remember that feel a lot with the Dark Nails.
And attempts to just rake. Actually, no, it's not her turn yet. It's the. Oh no, she had the ready action, so yeah. She has advantage, but she's helpless, and she rolled 11 both times. So she somehow fails at slitting Lainath's throat.
They didn't get to the Gorget.
Do what?
They didn't get to the Gorget.
Oh yeah, they didn't get to go. Sorry, I just heard. No, it's more like the blow. Even though she was sitting there waiting, just kind of threw her off because she expected the one behind you to be a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, well, that in fact, I don't think she wasn't expecting me to have my.
Yeah, she didn't expect that you to like you put down your weapon. That's why she's like, ha ha. Oh,
Yeah.
Was that
weapons
the axe that
teleport.
was still buried back at camp?
What?
No, she got that.
Okay.
She recovered that. So then it would actually be the harpy behind you. He's going to club and claw you.
The harpy behind him already acted.
She released a held action or a ready action. 17 with the club.
Miss.
And 14 with the claws. It's going to miss. Silas,
I'm hidden.
you're hidden.
You're already threatening me?
Yep. Threatening both of them. Which one?
The one that's got Lena.
Okay.
He's going to catch a dark 3-pronged arrow that stings to the touch.
Okay.
Nice.
You already used the magic on it.
It no longer deals bonus damage.
No.
Didn't it still add an initiative bonus if I had it like drawn? at the
That's
beginning?
part of its magic.
Okay, so I'll erase that too. There's no way to recharge it?
You potentially could. I'd allow it.
I'll have to figure that out later.
We need to go back to the crater.
Just
Oh!
I actually like that.
Yeah.
I actually really like that.
That's a good idea.
Wish we thought about that before.
Yeah.
But it's still nasty. The whole point here is spite.
Yeah, it's a 3-pronged arrow.
It's not going to deal anything
More, it's
extra.
just it's
It's also indestructible and stings to the touch.
Yeah.
So. Do I have advantage?
yeah, you're hidden.
22.
22 is a hit. Session already went more crazy than I expected. I like sessions that do that when I'm just like, and let's see where this train wreck goes.
11 points of damage.
Ooh, nice. As this arrow out of nowhere strikes her. Ah! She pretty much does the same thing that Yeti did, just immediately try and grab it and snap it off. It's like,
I love it when they do that.
Ow!
Stir it up a bit.
Stir up their.
Gotcha, bitch!
Best Chappelle.
Gotcha, bitch!
Oh god. As that one just kind of thrown is like, okay, this is happening. This is going to just attack at. It's actually going to make one attack against the unconscious Lainath, one against Lynn. That has advantage. That is a hit. And against you, a 19. That is also a hit.
Yep.
For 6 damage to Lynn, and 2 failed death saves, which you have reset because you passed. But that is 2 fails. Lynn.
Lynn is. What is it to ready/use an item?
Like
Readying it is an item interaction,
Action.
which you get one for free on each of your turns, and then using it would probably be a standard depending on the item.
yeah, it's usually a standard. Activating a magic item, especially on the standard.
A potion of healing.
It is. You draw it as an interaction, and then drinking it is a standard.
If I'm wanting to pour it down Lainath's
It is also a standard.
I do that.
You just like kind of shove the harpy.
Yeah.
Screw you! Drink! And just force the potion bottle into Lainath's mouth. That's what Kegog's ointment is. You can just like get it on them and it still works.
2d4 plus 2. You get 8 health.
You're at 8 health. As your neck wound seals shut and all of your other injuries. They don't close, but they become less. I'm going to
I would like to write.
run class unless you wish to multi-class.
On mine.
I mean,
You will miss.
Halibarian.
it's working pretty well for Thousand Spears.
Halibarian sounds great dope.
The harpy that wasn't attacked. Kind of turns to see where the arrow came from. You didn't rehide.
I did not.
Lynn just says you all fucked up.
She comes at you.
You are fucked up now.
A natural 20 with the first claw, and a 12 with the second.
Take your chance.
First one hits, obviously. Second one does not.
Get no chance to GTFO.
11 points of slashing damage.
I thought about coming in late and saying, like, oh, is it too late to bonus action to rehide? But then I'm like, it's okay to have an extra target here so that not everything gets focused on you two. So I'll soak a hit.
Silas, you're up.
That's pretty much what I healed you, but you gained an extra 1.
No.
Because I healed you for 10, I think.
You healed me for 10 and they dealt 11.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. So
Yeah.
one more.
You took an extra one.
You took an extra one.
So you're up.
So there's Leader Chick.
Leader chick and then one in your grill.
One of the girls always thinks important.
Yeah, it is. I have an interaction to draw my rapier. Again, I've got bow in one, hit rapier in the other.
Okay.
It's a good look.
I mean, you could try and attack with. No, you can't attack with the bow in the offhand. I mean, you could try. It would be a
Bop.
disadvantage.
Bop stab. Bop.
Bad. Bad harpy.
Yeah, just do some of that cool shit from the Dragons animation.
Yeah.
Hanzo does all that melee shit with his bow that he can't do in the fucking game, and I'm like, why doesn't he do that? He does the palm strike. Why can't I fucking hit a motherfucker with this awesome bow?
What it is?
Get on it, Blizzard.
Is Lynn still threatening that one?
No. Which I should have given you an attack of opportunity when she went to go after him.
Are you giving me an attack of opportunity?
I am.
Nice.
Nice.
14.
Is it hit?
For 6 points of damage.
Then I got a 17 to hit.
Hit.
For 6 points of damage with the rapier.
Then the harpy.
Oh, then I will bonus action or cunning action to disengage.
Okay, and then moving. I'm assuming. Yeah.
To hopefully someplace where I might be able to get cover. It's
The
a cave, right?
yeah. It's a little hole in the side of the mountain.
No. Well, then I'll try to move closer to Lynn so that if she follows me, she might be threatened by multiple targets.
Yes.
That way I can get some
Okay.
sneak.
So you go to engage with the harpy matron. The harpy matron is not like any of this. It reaches for you with her talon, but unlike the normal, otherwise when she was clawing, she actually incants a spell. And is attempting to hit you with a touch attack. The spell attack, I should say, not touch attack. But only gets a 14.
Yes.
So no inflict wounds for you.
That's good.
I'm just waiting for like to fly out a little bit of the nest and like do like
Lainath.
some kind of taunting,
You're up.
and then I'll be like,
Oh man! My sword. I have an axe. I'm gonna hit it with
The axe is kind of just right next to you, and just dramatically reach over and just grab it because they took your weapons off when they start stripping out of armor.
Fuck you!
And going for
Bitch is
okay.
it's right there. Fuck this bitch.
Okay,
Fuck
you're on
this
the
bitch.
ground. You're prone, so you're at disadvantage unless you wish to get up, which is half your move. Yes.
I'll do that.
So grabs the axe, just kind of gets up, and as he does, swings down.
24.
That is a hit.
I have one spell slot left. Isn't that handy?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Fucking. Fuck this bitch. Smite. 24.
She did.
Wait a minute, that would have been more. It was my axe. That's a d12.
As you drive the axe into her back, right into the spine between the two wings, the blow itself forcing her to the ground. And there's a nice cheek sound as the tip of the edge of the blade hits stone as it goes through. Yeah. Then
Turns my attention to the
the
other one.
last harpy. It's kind of like that slow hi.
This was the moment she realized she had fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, I just killed her. You gave her a chance,
I gave you a chance.
and you spat on my
Because yeah, her eyes are wide. She has like, oh, I have screwed up now.
No.
21.
Hit.
13 points of damage.
You run your glaive right through her stomach, lifting her off the ground, Vlad the Impaler style, and just wing her out of the cave.
The leader?
Leader, she.
Okay, cool. I was like, can I snatch my arrow out of her chest as she flies by?
The leader's on the ground.
Okay.
No, this was the last one that actually went to engage you, and then he ran away from
Nice.
it. And yeah, she goes tossing out, and at the bottom, Vanessa just sees one of the harpies.
Yeah,
It
man.
just kind of like moves you and the kid. Bam!
Yes.
She got real up there.
The bodies that fall that distance are just obliterated for
Yeah.
the most part.
Can
There's blood, gore, and feather.
I was about to say, can they at least be like the feathers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. That was. I meant that to be a really hard fight.
It wasn't really hard.
Harrowing, even.
I almost died twice.
I would like to
Oh yeah, I was like a bad roll away from death, I'm sure. On the,
spend my
on the side of that
I
mountain.
consider the
Just climbing up
environment
raw.
a whole other individual for purposes of that encounter.
I would like to spend my my second wind and
Okay.
recover some HPs.
How you doing?
Where's Vanessa? Roll.
They're on the
they're
ground.
down. Vanessa's taking care of them.
Okay.
It's 12. So
The cold starts hitting you as you've been stripped out of.
well,
Oh,
at least all your
There's,
stuff.
there's
is
a
still
fire
there.
here, right?
There's a
They were
small
cooking.
fire. They were going to eat him raw. They
Oh. I will stoke the fire a bit, expecting
Nibble on my
the,
wings today.
yeah, they do have a fire because they do need to keep warm. The cave itself, while cold, is much more comfortable.
I'm gonna get my stuff back on.
All right. Mainly focusing on your Yeti skin, your Yeti tunics. Need this. Need this.
Well,
Need all of this.
this would be a good place to sleep
It's
tonight.
probably, I think, that just to recover some hit
At
points.
least for a short rest.
Yeah.
I'll get my arrow back.
Question is how are Vanessa and well, you know.
Well, now that there's no more harpies,
Yeah.
it should be a bit easier to get them at least here.
Yeah.
I will say, for the purposes of narration, taking time and being careful with the plan of resting here, at least for a while, you can get them.
Okay. Does the harpy nest have anything valuable in it?
I don't know. Would you like to search the harpy
I would
nest?
love to. I've got
Alright.
plenty of time to.
Well,
Yeah, I'd like to search the
Here's-
harpies down below.
actually,
The harpies actually don't wield much of anything. These harpies were using just their talents.
I'm actually gonna say this might not be the best place for us to stay.
Well, that's at least a good landing point between
Well,
the bottom and the top.
yeah. Well, my point is that there were several harpies that I told the GTFO and did.
Oh,
So they come back and we kill them in the face.
That's
that's still a good halfway point for getting up to the top.
I'm gonna go to the very edge of the cave, and I'm going to ritual castle.
You can't ritual cast.
That's right, I can't
It is not a feature of the Eldritch Knight.
yet.
Yeah, you can take a feat for it. It is
Yeah.
a good feat. I'm going to call.
Hey, if we leveled up,
Yeah, if we leveled up, I could do that. I miss Sparkwick.
Yeah, I didn't prepare the treasure ahead of time, so we're going to random roll.
Yeah.
So let's go for some silvers. Whoa. You find
Can I have a sword back?
when you would go down to get them, you could recover the sword. You find 600 silver, 120 electrum, and 50 gold coins.
Nice.
'Cause I'm treating this as a hoard, since that was a really hard fight. So that, I like rolling for hordes randomly. It's fun. Where is the...
You never know which one.
I plan out some magic items that I give them, but a lot of times I like rolling on the horde. I kind of vary on whether I do it beforehand for saving time or at the table for kind of the shared mystery of it, and also letting them roll. But I'm going to be rolling some of this for expediency. Ooh, wow.
I felt compelled to do that. I don't know why.
Okay. I was like, okay.
What did I miss? Do what?
I opened my book and it fell down and then made a noise with the chips, and she just looked at me and I was like, I don't know, dude. I was compelled.
Because it's like you opened it just to let go of it. I did. Oh, it's really good.
The miscellaneous treasures, also known as the art objects, you find an embroidered silk handkerchief, a cloth of gold vestments, very nice looking.
Cloth of
Cloth of gold is what it says. 2 small gold bracelets. And a carved bone statuette to the Mother of Monsters.
Oh.
For those familiar with Pathfinder, that would be the Mashtu.
to or of.
It is of her, but it is also to her in the sense that it was probably a source of worship.
Mother of monsters.
The Mother of Monsters. Ooh.
I know, that's why I was like, She
I
got
was just like, we saw so many cheese balls.
We can refill our cheese bubble.
So, who would like to roll a magic guy?
I would love to roll a
Considering I rolled and you guys found a couple. As in, you can each roll one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winning. Hashtag.
Hashtag
That's
one.
no cards, just do the chat thing.
Who would like to?
Who would like to go first?
I would like to roll.
Go ahead.
Go for it. Sweet.
You had to watch ball at the bottom.
73.
73. I also always like it when they roll a magic item that I don't know what it is. It's kind of rare anymore, considering how many times I've gone over this book.
It's a magic bow of wonder. Yes, I want it.
Who's next?
I will fist
Yeah.
her.
I'll do it.
So everyone gets 2 ones.
36.
Next.
87.
87. And last one?
Me.
These.
Score the killing blow.
Kill below 92.
Nice.
We never actually know what's on the tables. We just assume that high is good.
You'll get really excited when it's in the 90s. Oh, yay! Oh, shit! And then Josh is like, they don't know this, but it's the lowest thing on here.
No. They don't all go like higher is better, but a lot of them like higher is usually more interesting.
What we all needed to do
Well,
was
I mean-
roll whatever the fuck
I mean, interesting could be
healing
bad.
potions are.
Oh yeah.
I have a healing potion left. If
I have
somebody,
one on me as well.
if somebody needs it.
I'm out.
Yeah, I have one.
I have 2
I
more.
have a potion of water.
Knowing what page
You're
they're
right.
on to give it to them in the foldy form, and then I'll write the descriptions. So I figure out.
Do they need anything? A drink or anything?
I might just refill that with water.
Water?
Use that.
Dr. Pepper?
Oh, I'm good. I just got myself some booze.
Thank you.
While she's doing that.
I will run through the kitchen.
Hey Josh, I feel like I was playing to my personality trait. Problems. If I have a problem, I tackle it head on.
I mean,
Best path to success is the one simple and
Yeah.
direct. Climb a cliff and kill some harpies.
yeah. I'll give you inspiration back for it.
Yes.
He's like, I'm gonna nonchalantly mention this to
Well,
Jack.
no. If you play up to your character's traits, their flaws.
Yeah.
Yes, technically maybe you made it too. But,
Yeah, you get one.
I know. No, I'm not saying for inspiration. I'm just saying. Just in general. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw there was like was a strawberry and a watermelon.
Mm-hmm. This is the one.
But I was like, I don't know which one you would like. I'll just go with the
If I
regular.
remember, just do another one later. I will destroy watermelons. Oh my god.
I almost
There's
got
no.
him.
Oh, there's one left.
I almost got him a watermelon too, but I was like, no, what if he doesn't want it? They have to walk all the way back. I'll just get him a regular old-fashioned lemonade.
Oh, nice.
We need to.
Never beat the classics.
I'm so looking forward to our drinking game.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. I feel like there might have to be like one more.
We
thrown in
might
there.
have to come up with more than 2 rules.
I mean, those two do come up a lot.
They will come up a lot. Yeah, you never know.
You should
But
do
just for more like variation, you know.
Marceline casually mentions murdering someone.
And/or immortality.
Yeah.
Not me, I'm 1,000 years old, and I just lost track of my moral code.
What time do you have to pick up Leah?
I should leave here about 10:30.
You.
So we still got a little under an
My
hour.
dad just
My favorite part of that is straight up when they like print things that can like fit inside like a birdhouse.
Right?
And I was like,
Don't do that, man.
So,
Jerk man.
you want a short rest here and then just continue on?
I think so.
yeah.
I don't think it'd be good to sit here
No.
if those harpies come back.
We're in for an hour. There's a chance that they'll come back. So,
If they do, there was only, what, 3 of them?
Oh, there was more than that. I thought.
3 or 4.
I think 3
But
only.
left.
3 or
Pushed
4
away.
of them
We killed
Yeah.
the rest of them.
Yeah, 3 only 3 flew away, I'm pretty sure.
And maybe there were 7 total to begin with, so.
Yeah, but we killed a
Half of them-
bunch.
half
They're
of
all
them
of
threw.
them are down there.
what's their broth smell like?
They were going to eat raw.
Oh,
We were joking about the broth.
I'm joking about broth.
I know, broth would have been tasty. We could have had their broth.
Actually, straight up, they were just preparing the miso soup to serve before the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow they rendered tofu.
No, I mean they had a.
Miso soup. It's like the only good incarnation of tofu.
That's not true. It's really not true.
Shelby's like,
It is to me.
so that meat. Do we have any meat?
Joey's like, can I have miso with chicken in it?
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be so down for that.
I mean,
Except probably not. I'm not a big fan of miso, actually.
yeah. I mean, they put you can put miso in other stuff like.
Or we're tanning some about meat.
I was making that face because you guys were talking about them serving soup before eating me alive.
Hey, that
Technically,
would have
you
technically extended your lifespan.
technically.
The duration of an appetizer.
Sorry.
This is all conversation happening in character.
Did you see? Did you
I'm
see?
going to scare Paul.
Did you see the thing that PETA was making a big deal about like a while ago? PETA,
Oh, I never paid.
because apparently there's a like it's starting to become more and more like common practice in like certain restaurants where people are just like eating like live fish, like while like the fish is still like actively
Ooh,
alive.
that's terrible.
Yeah, it's super messed up. Like
I mean, that just sounds gross on like a lot of levels.
I agree. Alrighty.
it's a sign of freshness.
Oh my god.
No. Then again, I don't eat things with water.
I would want to eat something that was still breathing.
I see that like moving squid soup they serve in Japan. The squid's dead. It's just the soy sauce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had that.
And I'm just like,
We had that at
I'm gonna eat some. I want to be not moving anymore, please.
Yeah.
it was at a ramen joint in Champaign. And they had like little squid balls with
Yeah.
like little flakes that still moved around.
That's fine.
They were delicious.
You can have them. That's just, I have limits.
It's also got like squid.
We do.
I
We do a lot.
do like some squids.
What we got? Alright, we've got
Do we have any way to identify this stuff?
vial of clear red liquid with tiny bubbles of light.
That's healing.
No,
I
it's
suppose I
not.
could have handed
Because I
back
know what a healing potion
this
is.
stack in case any of them were
Healing potion glimmers
Yeah.
when agitated.
These have just little light bubbles. That go beep.
A hollow metal tube, 1 foot long, weighs a pound. Is this an immovable rod?
I mean,
It's my immediate
or a
assumption.
blowgun.
Oh, it's immovable rods aren't
Did
hollow,
we
are
have
they?
a potion or something that had that you could identify or something?
We still have a potion that has like a little like jellyfish in it that
I've
we
got
never
that.
actually got.
That's water breathing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but we never.
Rebecca identified.
Yeah.
Oh, Rebecca did. Yeah, that's right.
We have a clear potion of a drop of red.
It's clear, but there's a drop of red in it.
Okay, the red contracts and expands to fill the vial. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
That's the J.J. Abrams.
the potion is breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, raising up. We have a scroll, burnt oaken wand, and a belt pouch.
Should we look inside the belt pouch?
Oh,
It appears to be empty.
I want to reach inside the belt pouch.
Okay. You don't feel anything.
Detect magic tells you the school.
Not anymore. You just get magic gain A.
Okay.
Actually, I might be wrong about that.
This is a first level spell now.
Yeah, it's it's a first level spell, but it still doesn't feel like it does much. Pretty much whenever I play, when I get to play any characters who would have detect magic, I try and get something to give it to me, like at will. Cough warlocks, even though they're not my favorite class by far. I'm a wizard man.
I really liked my warlock.
Detect magic.
I don't think I've really got a chance.
You do learn the school of magic, if any. It'd be really hard for me to say schools on some of these.
I was thinking of using my last use of magic detection on the other wand. So there's a burnt. Like,
Burnt oaken
Mhm.
wand.
yeah.
I would say its magic is evocation.
Okay. I'm thinking that was probably the case.
When it comes to the scroll, since she can cast arcane spells, can she just read it?
Yeah, scrolls you can just read.
Then what's this?
This is thing. This is a scroll of protection.
Nice.
Each scroll of protection works against a specific type of creature, chosen randomly by rolling. Who'd like to roll a persona?
Sure.
I think Brian's got it.
12. 12. The specific one is beasts. Using an action to read the scroll encloses you in an invisible barrier that extends from you and forming a 5-foot radius. 10-foot high cylinder. It lasts 5 minutes. This barrier prevents creatures of the specified type from entering or affecting anything within. The cylinder moves with you and remains centered on you. However, if you move in such a way that the creature of the specified type would be inside the cylinder, the effect ends.
Oh, yeah.
Creatures can attempt to overcome the barrier by using an action, making a DC 15 charisma check. On a success, the creature ceases to be affected. And note that it is beasts.
Yes.
Nope.
So,
I don't
animals.
know what that is. Don't know what any of these
Part of me is kind of tempted to use the one, but I don't know if the charge on the one will regenerate, so it's probably not
Most of the
gonna
time, yeah. The problem would be what it is. If it ends up being an AoE, you might
be- Yeah.
catch us in a small cave.
Yeah.
So are you guys taking a long rest, short rest?
I'm
Short.
short, I think, is kind of the consensus.
Yeah.
Because as much as I feel like this could potentially be a pretty good spot to spend the night, I don't want to be here when the Harpers get back.
It's also, this is like the first thing we did today, right? After we got
Yeah.
back from the crater.
We still have a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
That's fair. So you guys may take a short rest. Regaining, well, spending hit die as you need.
those are in the door.
I'm going to spend 8 hit die.
Just so you know where the mics are.
I'm just throwing all my hit die at this.
Because after my
Yeah, same.
second wind, I'm only down 4 points.
I only overhealed by 1 point.
I didn't
I overhealed by 1 point also.
I didn't have to roll anything because I was down there.
See,
Don't you feel special?
One of these days, Vanessa's gonna get hit, and you're gonna be like, something made me bleed my own blood.
I don't like it.
What?
Because my hit
Vanessa,
points
are
are
you-
not
are-
very high.
are you Nelson once?
Yeah.
So, you guys, as there are no more current challenges, I will go ahead and say you guys, after your rest, can get to the top of the cliff.
Yay. And up here is a magic kingdom that we can live forever.
Up here, it is a snowy ridge where the wind wants to try and knock you off if you're too close to the edge.
This
We're
is
gonna
not
have to
what
be
I
careful.
dreamed it would be.
We did not get to the top.
No, you're navigating, you're mapping, you're lookout and hunting, and I'm keeping track of all.
Okay.
Good ball, like a ball leash. Is that what's going on?
Do you
And
wanna
he's-
I would imagine he's riding on one of the sleds.
He can either be riding on the sled
Because I
or
also imagine he doesn't have the best like marching stamina.
That's also probably.
mapping does not give me advantage. It just means that if we do go off course, we don't stay that way.
correct.
Yeah.
Well, that and we can't get lost.
That's what that.
Well, I'd all out.
Yeah, she doesn't let you get lost. If you didn't have her and you got lost, I would roll for the number of hours you lose, and then you automatically go back if you have someone mapping. If you don't have someone mapping, it's another navigation check in which you can get lost again.
Now, if we can't get lost, do we need someone mapping?
No, actually.
So how about you just help me navigate, and that way I get advantage on the navigation.
That I'm doing.
Okay.
What would we have had to roll had we gotten lost?
I don't remember offhand. It's in the notes up. Because I keep me.
Whatever it was, Moses was
16.
bad at it.
16. Okay.
Not wrong.
I was gonna say too soon.
It's really not.
It's really not. About 40 days and nights. 40 years.
40 years.
Noah?
I'm talking about Moses
Moses.
getting lost in the desert for 40 years.
Okay. I heard 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah, I
That's
messed
how
up the
that
reference.
counts.
Yeah, that was.
It could also be Odysseus, that poor bastard.
Oh,
That's also true.
Gods just keep screwing with him, and her abilities wouldn't help you against a
No.
god trying to screw with you.
Straight up, I just want the ability to shoot through 12 axe heads.
I mean,
That's a thing.
I would call that a DC like 20 shot,
Yeah.
which a high level character like him could pull off without too much issue. Especially if he's like inspiration.
Yeah.
You guys march.
His bond was his home. He was like, hey, everybody got my house.
I mean, the real trick is the fact that the arrow like wobbles
Yeah.
while it's in air. It's like, yeah, you get it. Very close. Because I was thinking, like, man, all you need to do is clear the first one and the last one, and all the ones that are spinning gravy.
No.
Aside from the fact that the arrow
Never-
is.
yeah. That makes it hard. Do you see the video
There you are.
like the world's best archer that can like throw a $50 coin up in the air and shoot it out of the air?
and that's pretty dope.
Yeah. I was like, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Okay. So you're foraging.
Hmm?
I forget if your thing gets you any bonuses on foraging.
Survival, I get a bonus on. No, I don't. I don't think it does.
So go ahead and roll. I know some things give you like double foraging results or
I
something.
think you get like twice as much food. wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's successful.
If
Like,
successful, you get twice as much.
I'm trying to figure out what that is. Okay.
When you forage, you
I have
find
advantage on survival checks.
Yes, so you have
To
advantage,
track through and recall. Yeah.
and when you forage, you get twice as much food.
Yeah.
You normally would. Not twice as much water, interestingly enough, just food.
Rolled out of a natural 20. Let's see. 21.
Okay. So you find while you're traveling. What's your wisdom modifier? 3?
Wrong pass. 2.
2.
I couldn't find it.
You get 10 pounds of food and 3 refills on water stems. So 3 gallons of water.
3 gallons of water.
And yeah, enough food for you guys for 2 days.
10 pounds of food.
Just good.
You
We all had 0 food.
Well, yeah, we were giving him our Russians. We've been giving him our Russians.
Dang. Cannibalism.
Wow. I think that
Rations.
dark fast.
Yeah.
Anastasia and Alicia are like, run!
We must get out of here. I hear they eat Russians.
Our names are somewhat Russian.
I can't speak today, if you've not noticed. I was doing this at work too, and I was like, back it up, let's try again.
Alright. So, you guys travel the day. Spot no dangers. And there's a part of the day where you actually can look down the cliff and see across the flatlands the head, the front of the orc army, 1,000 spear. There is a number, and you are guessing that number to be close to probably 200 of the orc that are actually in a run. They are sprinting across the snowfields.
Damn it.
The majority of the force isn't. They're going in a march. But there's a group.
There's a vanguard.
There's a vanguard that are pretty much dead sprinting across the ice.
So, the person who has teleport, this would be a good time to let us know.
We sure don't have that. We sure don't have a wizard or sorcerer
Or helm.
or helm. Any of
Teleport.
that.
How many forces did the Jarl take with him to?
How great of a force?
Then so
Yeah.
it teleports into the
The-
air above us and
the
falls
Northbound
into
Fortress.
the body, hits the
Because I
ground.
remember you said it.
Teleport.
I seem to recall it
That's
wasn't,
where he went.
It wasn't a whole
It
lot.
wasn't massive. I remember that much. I forgot to write down the exact number.
Because I was wondering if they were just sending those guys ahead just to clear that out.
You don't know
So
if
they
you don't
have
know
a-
if that if you don't know if 200 could clear a fortress because fortresses
I
have
think
the,
that it's the
they
party.
have the
that-
advantage of being a wall.
Yeah.
I think it's a intimidate talking party, and then
It's an initial attack force.
it's a secret. That they
You're
have
doubting
others.
secret. They're
No, I mean that they have the other forces that are coming in behind.
more likely these are kind of the people that are meant to get there and cause as much damage as possible and die. Like no, they have no thought of surviving. If you've seen, assuming everyone has seen the Two Towers, these would be the ones that wore pretty much no armor and were sent up at the top of the ladder. Your job is just to cause a distraction and die. Like, your survival chances are 0. That's part of the job.
And then the one that makes it out alive, you thought I would die, huh? You lost that bet.
That just means you die in the next battle.
And
Or
the next thing you know, boom, right arrow goes right in his head, he's dead.
When you first started saying that, I was just thinking they're all the ones that have those bombs.
I mean, there's also those. Or the guy with the torch. He's just like, my job is to throw myself at bombs with fire.
One guy rethinks this is not a good idea. I think I'm gonna go home.
Orcs didn't have free will in Tolkien's verse. They were
Yeah, I know.
mindless. They were only given as much thought as they needed to do their job.
So basically, the generals. Because orc generals were given characterization.
Oh yeah, well that was more than a movie.
That was cute. Will was like, someone pay attention to me right now.
Well, it was actually like tapped with my foot.
Uh,
You're like, hey.
So we see that. But do we think that we're going to be making good time with this route?
Oh yeah. You are cutting a straight path to the keep, or to actual Holfrost.
Right. Bypassing the keep entirely.
Yeah, bypassing the keep, bypassing the pass. You'll just have to climb down a ways to actually get into the city, and then work around the city to a gate. So you trek,
Yeah.
and by the end one hard day of traversing the mountains, you reach the cliffside of which you will have to descend to get down to Hullfrost.
I imagine we should do that in the morning.
You can either,
Unless we want to do that now so that we have.
you can either push and do it now, or wait till morning and do it fresh. It is a climb down, which is, still climbing.
We might want to do it fresh so that certain people have their feather fall available.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I was just gonna say, let's just skip the whole thing entirely and just everybody jump off.
Whee! If you have feather fall,
Just time the
Yeah.
featherfall, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be
feather
like,
fall, yeah.
it'd be like 1, 2, 3.
We could all
go.
hold hands.
how many people can you affect with feather fall?
5.
Then yeah.
You're not, you could actually bypass the gate. Guards might have a bit of a problem with that, but you
Alright,
could
let's
do
do
it.
Anybody
Yeah.
else in?
I mean, you have to wait till tomorrow.
We have to wait till tomorrow for me to get my spell slot.
Yeah, do we all want to just do that tomorrow then?
100%.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you could fly down even not. So.
Yeah.
So you guys camp up on the ridge.
Putting the tents up.
I will ask for rest order or guard order, I should say.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second.
Guess we'll just start.
Take last.
I really want more numbers.
What do you think, Bob?
As the night goes by pretty uneventfully.
Nice.
Or so we think.
Just wait for the next morning. There's a work banner hanging over the city.
We have teleport!
We probably should have just pushed forward.
Your castle is being attacked.
Oh, we did what we could. Let's just, let's go back to where we were supposed to go.
Go ahead and roll survival for setting up your tent. And your campsite.
That'll give you advantage.
Forgot to have you do that.
15.
Just get a little message from the guy who's like, I'm in your base killing your dudes.
Was this the person you didn't want me to kill? Pulled out her head. We're orcs, we're bad at that.
Noted.
It is dawn in the morning.
Well,
Alright, should we run? No, hold
I just
hands.
imagine like it's one of those things where everybody is like just like holding hands.
We gotta get the sleds packed up too.
Yeah.
So you pack up everything. A couple of you are pretty encumbered, but
Doesn't matter what we're doing.
Make sure that Vol doesn't panic, because that's a concern.
Yeah.
Hey, look!
I mean, it's light enough. You can just like pick them up. It's like,
Yeah.
That's probably what I'm gonna have to do.
Well, Lynn's probably gonna do that because you're scary. Sorry.
I also have the highest charisma bonus.
He
so
doesn't
sure.
act that much differently to any of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're all just
You're all people.
okay.
He's probably getting
He's
used.
getting a
all
little
just
bit used. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna
I
say
mean,
this is
he
just
noticed
how
that we're
he'd
not
been
trying to
reacting.
hurt him.
He had been, but yeah, you've been traveling for,
Okay. So I will.
day plus whatever.
Lynn will pick him up, and then I'm
Okay.
just like, okay, guys. I say we're gonna do it on 3. We're gonna do it on 2.
why didn't you warn me?
He's just looking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, jump.
He starts to struggle.
Featherfall.
Concentration. He's struggling in your arms.
You could have let me do it. You could have let me carry him. I swear to God, you don't get this feather fall off.
I don't have to hold on to him now. Let go of him. Featherfall.
Oh my
I
God!
still have to roll concentration.
Once you do.
Still got that inspiration?
Yeah.
You don't have to. You're gonna next turn just like push him away.
That's it.
As you let him go into a complete free fall. And then cast the spell.
Lynn, I know I like you for a reason.
Why would you do that?
That was
You learn
hilarious.
something.
That kid is screaming now.
If he remembers any of this when he gets
Oh,
his
she's
mojo back,
dead.
you're so fucked.
No.
And you know it.
No, he'll understand
You
because
think Bull will understand?
he's a wizard. He understands concentration checks.
As this is kind of your doing.
I'm gonna start a pool as to what Lynn spends the rest of her life as once Paul wakes up.
His favorite was stone, if you recall. Like, I don't want to kill you, but I'm
It's
pissed.
still ironic considering the state of the mega
Stormhelm,
Stormhelm.
you didn't do it, so
No.
I need you to roll an acrobatics.
I recall there also being a lot of statues in the original Forgotten City.
18.
18? Okay. So you guys are now descending the cliff, and you are coming down pretty much on top of the Jarl's Palace.
Yes.
Right where we wanted to be.
See, this is why I studied ahead of time.
I
I
want
found the way in.
to kind of land close to fall so that he doesn't like
I mean,
land and fall over.
you can fly. You can kind of control yourself.
If we're gonna land on a roof, I feel like that might be an issue for
No,
us.
Startle just starts flying around pushing people. Not Startle. Sorry, Lainath. Starts flying around just pushing people away from the.
When it's like triggered.
Welcome to where my contacts came from.
As you guys are floating down, you start hearing a loud as the guard towers have seen people coming into the palace.
Sorry!
It's just orcs, orcs, orcs.
The orcs are coming.
The
The
greenskins are
orcs
coming.
are
The
coming.
greenskins are coming.
As the first real sign of this, aside from the clatters, an arrow just whizzes by you guys.
Jesus!
They're friendly!
Fuck!
You guys are calling out that you're friendly as loud as you can. Make persuasion at disadvantage.
We have one person do it or everybody do it.
One person does it at advantage, but regular.
You can have one person do it regularly.
Yeah.
If you're all helping.
18.
Hey, you are firing arrows at your friend standing in front of 500 gallons of nitroglycerin.
Easy there, Tyler Durden.
I got an 18.
You got an 18. As you don't land on the roof, but you do land beside the palace. And there are a good 15 or so Northmen with pikes and swords that see you guys who don't know you.
Good news, gentlemen. The roof passes inspection.
We were north. The orcs are on their way here.
Lay down your arms!
Not.
I can't put down my hands and drop my weapons. Pick one.
Arms on the ground!
I just want to do that weird video where it's like I just keep pulling weapons.
Enough money and encumbrance. Yeah, you can do that. Or a bag of holding.
You know what'd be really funny is if she was just actually like a rogue, and what she was actually doing was pulling out weapons, like for trying to put them down, sleight of handing them back like up into her sleeve, and just keep pulling out the same weapons, just over and over
I don't
again.
know where all these daggers came from.
It's like a magic trick with the
Yeah.
scarf.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
You're the leader of this rabble. You with me. The rest to the holding cells for now.
What?
Nice.
I'm a noble.
Good for you, milady!
Thank you! Get it right! Keep balls safe.
I really just want to just keep slapping Vanessa.
Just do it.
As the
It could be your thing.
the three of you and even the boy are led to holding cells. Not like a dungeon, but just till this gets sorted out.
Keep them safe. Keep them calm, please. I'll let him freak out. I mean, he's all like mad himself, but I don't know if freak out might be like a magic explosion.
As he's
You know?
We'll see what we can
clutching behind Vanessa right now.
Yeah,
Just kind of looking around
that seems
like
fair.
he doesn't understand what's going on. You are led away, and you are led to one of the guard stations.
You show up to try to save a city and
You get arrested.
you get arrested. Man, if I had
As
a
he
dime for every
goes-
time this happened to me.
As he goes,
Right,
two other
so-
guards escorting Lainath. He does call, "Summon Tolm!" Another guard runs off.
You guys get an owl recently? Instead of the guards. The guy comes back.
The guards escorting you don't.
I keep talking to them.
You keep chattering anyway. And shut your mouth.
Fine, just trying to help, trying to save citizens.
I gotta figure out how to.
Frecky knows this.
Shut up.
Yeah. Friends of Frecky.
Something. We'll show you how real military.
It's gonna be a real shitty wedding if Orc come in and crash it.
Something.
Unless, of course, they were invited.
Know the priestess.
Yes.
Yeah, big whoop. Want to fight about it?
My current state, I think I'd whoop you, boy.
I like look at his friends. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Frecky vouched for us.
As you're let off, and if you're let into a room or you're set down right at a table. Two guards are in there with you. The one who's giving orders is currently not. And you wait.
I really hope Silas doesn't run his mouth and get himself into trouble.
The guards don't say anything. About 30 minutes pass. In walks the guard who is barking orders. And with him is a large man wearing the insignia of the Stormlord. I believe one of you met, or at least saw him. He was speaking with the servant of the Knowing Mistress.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Wait, I thought you served the horsekeeper.
No, that was Hearthkeeper. You guys
Yeah.
you hadn't met Tom. Sorry. Sorry, that was
Recap.
Fallet.
Yeah.
You met Fallet, Tom. He comes in, the guard. You see? This big northern man, full armor, whitish hair, darker beard, kind of leans in.
How Reinhardt is he?
He's kind of a mix of Reinhardt and Marvel's Thor.
I love him.
To the point he even has a warhammer at his side. He looks at you. Clutches his symbol. This one's no demon.
Sure.
That's a bit of a relief. Didn't think a demon would just drop in from the sky like that.
You're pretty bold.
So who are you?
I am Lainath, Paladin of the Inheritor. Troop leader.
Easy claim. Can you prove it?
Symbol.
Anyone can wear one.
Smite.
I mean,
Smite
how much do you want me to prove it?
word.
You took my weapons already.
Aye. We did.
Squint at him a lot.
Sits
He'll
down.
get it.
You came from the northern cliffs.
Just returned from the Northern Cliffs. We were here, but a fortnight or two ago.
Killed a strong wind. You're inside.
The priest of the Mother of Magic can vouch for that. We spoke with him to get the maps.
The Knowing Mistress.
Knowing Mistress.
Like, well,
You don't even remember you both.
Don't forget Frecky.
Oh. We arrived here in
Billy's
this
not a fire.
city
Jesus,
about
it's
a
not a
week,
fireplace.
about 4 or 5 days ago. We arrived with Anastasia Kulikova, following Frecky, priestess of the Eternal Maiden.
Jarl's priestess.
We had been traveling with her to the city. We were going north of our own volition and decided to come back when we met a horde marching its way down here. We figured getting word to the palace was of utmost importance in SAR. Impractical method of entry?
So you saw the horde. They're on the move.
Yes.
He looks at the Stormlord priest, who just kind of gives him a shrug, of just like, don't look at me. With the Jarl gone, I suppose this decision falls onto me.
Nero has not returned.
Not yet. Expect him back any day.
Depends on if that horde catches up to him. They had a group of a couple hundred running in front. I don't know how quickly those will be able to make it. But they were moving at a sprint.
And make a persuasion check.
Persuasion, what damage? 23.
This is distressing. Alright. You can go. I'll get your friends out. I wish I could speak to the damn priestess.
Is something up with her?
She departed with the youngest sister, heading back to the homestead, whatever.
The manor.
Aye.
That's good to know. We sent an owl, but I did not know if it would actually make it here.
Found no owl.
Alright.
Sorry, getting an untrained animal to do something like that, it didn't make it.
The owls are flying, and then it was like, oh, something's shining!
That or it's still flying because it didn't know where to stop.
And we got eaten by a harpy.
Oh.
Many possibilities.
No, who's okay?
So,
She was fine. She got hungry. She hunted something and then forgot what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
your equipment is returned to you. Meanwhile, you guys are in the holding cells.
Singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
And, well, actually, this is kind of rewinding a little bit. You are led into the room with the holding cells. And as soon as bars are in view, the voice starts flipping out.
Yeah, we
in
can
a
just
panic.
wait out here with supervision. You're walking the. It's fine.
He is screaming as loud as he can, just fighting against anyone trying to stop him from running in the other direction.
I'm gonna stay with the boy.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight with the boy.
Make it athletics.
Okay.
What?
18. You are able to overpower this small boy. Well, he's 17. He's not insanely small. Or at least in his body, was 17. There, you get a foot. Except a foot, Katie. No. I want more than a foot. So you were restraining him, and the guards are like, shut him up!
No.
Do it, we will.
Does he have a weapon on him? The guard that's saying.
He doesn't have it drawn, but he has a sword in his
Is
side.
there a way for me to get access to one?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You could either sleight of hand, or you could just try an athletics to lunge him and grab it.
I'll sleight of hand.
Okay.
I got an 11.
You grab it. He didn't have. Actually, I should have used his passive, but he rolled garbage.
Now, as I was trying to say, we're here being friendly. All we want to do is wait outside. You're welcome to supervise.
Make an intimidation check.
Hey, we should see where this is going.
Can you back me up?
We should see where this
Can
is
you
going.
back me up, friends and allies?
We should see where this is going.
I
God damn it.
I kind of want to, but at the same time, I don't want to disrupt
You
the.
gonna just leave me hanging like this? I say in character.
What do you get?
You got a 5, goddammit.
Verbally.
3 of the guards lunge at you.
And we grab the kid and get away.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for doing what I was trying to do.
Make an athletics or
This
acrobatics
is
check.
going too smoothly.
We needed a distraction.
Acrobatics.
No, we didn't.
17. No, if you backed me up, I could have rolled again.
You managed to wriggle out of that before they can grab you.
I bopped somebody on the head.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Oh my
What's
god.
my bonus?
It's
Is it a trained weapon?
it is a short sword.
Oh, and here, give me spray.
I think that's a weapon for a rogue.
Okay, it is.
And I know it's finesse.
I got a 14.
So just bang! It doesn't
I'm not going for killing blows.
you're using the pommel
Yeah.
and just kinda bash him upside, his helm absorbs the blow, but you made contact. Just not damage, i.e. you didn't beat his AC later.
Rose Warden fucking protect me, but God, just
So
what is going on? The commander comes in.
they're not willing to negotiate.
Lynn literally face
The
palms.
commander looks at you.
Silas, what the hell are you doing?
They
Did you see Volus, or the boy I should keep saying, is still flipping out
yeah.
and screaming.
I'm trying to deal with that.
They
Put the
started
sword down, please.
Well, if we can go outside.
Put the sword down.
it. They started it.
Can we please leave?
Make a persuasion.
Sure, when he asks nicely.
Somebody have the inspiration for it?
No.
Yeah, I can give you one.
Actually, I do. I just got one because I played too
No,
much.
no, I got it. I got it. I have plenty.
Okay, 18. It's much better than me.
You alright, Gosman? Yeah. Get out. Get out of here. Take the whelp.
Just as kind of like as I'm walking past the other guards, just to be kind of a dick. Like,
Oh, now you're
in my
being a
hand,
dick.
and I just keep walking. I just wanted to let them know that I could have fucked them up.
Oh yeah. You weren't there to let them know that when I was trying to intimidate them.
Do you see? I didn't jump in. I behaved.
You got
did
something on
very
your,
well,
you got
Vanessa.
something on your nose, Vanessa.
Someone get in the car, Sean.
As you
I ain't got a court martial
you
over
are
that.
brought
I've done
you are
much
led
worse.
outside of the guard station and directed out of the Jarl's, like his enclosed little area.
Was Vol good? I check on Vol. Better.
Once he's away from the bars, he seems to calm down a bit, but he's still shaking.
This also, like, just in Elvish to Lainath, this also sort of reinforces my my dream about chains and prisons.
Yeah. And where was that fight 3 minutes ago?
I don't want to make an enemy of this kingdom. I'm trying to.
I don't mind making an enemy of a couple guards.
I'm pretty sure that
Can't afford to get criminals in a place that has asylum.
That being said, we're not going to be staying here much longer. Let's go find Danik and get the shit out of here.
And Lainath would not aware.
Berkey
What?
is no longer here.
Yes.
She and
You guys
Anastasia
didn't
have gone
No.
back to the Kolokova estate.
That's a little weird.
I believe we should head that way.
don't we want to check on our comrades?
Well, yes.
But
After
yeah.
that.
Maybe we could go there for a hideout.
I'm really. I can never remember her
Because
name.
it's not that far from here.
Steak lady.
Ashna.
Ashley.
Ooh, would they
I
try to
always
hit
forget
them
names.
first?
The name I can never remember is the tactician.
Hey, would you think they would try to, the orc army would try to hit them first?
No, they have to hit the
They'd have to get
keep and then the city and then the.
And
Okay.
they move on. Oh,
Okay.
How far away is
the estate.
the estate?
It took you 3 hours to get here by sled.
Okay. That being said,
How long would it take walking?
Double that. 1 day travel. less depending on the pace.
How
Not, but actually, no, half day travel at like worst.
how much do we think it would fuck up Ajna to have her travel to the estate?
You guys, I'm not sure. Like,
We
her,
kind of discussed that.
her condition is just an
We're-
oddity.
We need to just
See
see
how
how
she is right now.
stabilized she is right now.
Because it's either she's stabilized coming with us, she's not stabilized coming with us, or she's probably dead here.
2 questions. One, how long would it take me to rig an alchemical concoction, provided I had access to facilities or a kit?
If you are wanting to make sure it is functional and safe, like you test, a work week.
A week.
If you are willing to give it a shot and go with it, a day.
I say that to Lainath.
Let's speak with her first
I have an
and
idea.
see what she's willing to risk.
When do we need to get there?
Actually leave in about 4 minutes.
Okay.
And I don't know if she's going to want to just come back here with me or if she's going to want me to take her home.
So, my idea, we need to get as many blankets, towels, and rags as we can.
Well,
We-
more like furs.
No. We boil them and get them nice and hot, and then lay them over her. It'll take a long time for that to lose its
Something
Reserve.
wet losing its heat
density.
in the Arctic?
Density.
Once it does lose its heat, it's going to freeze.
Well, no, didn't we
Density.
say something about putting like
So,
Also, is
Like
Lynn a
stones in
goddamn
there.
scientist?
No.
so let's put just stones in there, like we
So you've
discussed.
been talking about heating stones.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
putting heating stones. That's what she's putting in her
heating
bed.
stones or someone rides with her.
Because that
Or both.
that being said too, then we can do that with the stones because it won't ever get hotter than boiling.
So
It won't burn the clothes.
So we go to the inn where they were staying.
head to the inn.
But we should get her as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I think this would be a good place to take a break. So we'll need to go give Leah a ride and then resume to the conclusion of this session. So we will be back, which for you guys might just be clicking on the next little video. So for us, see you in a bit.